Hi, James.
Hi, Jenny. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. You're looking amazing.
Where are you? That looks beautiful behind you.
I am in my speakeasy right now. So
Ah,
hopefully it's not too annoying. In the mirror behind me, I've got a screen on the opposite side of the room that kind of changes city to city. So it's a big, big panel wall. So I take people around the world as they're drinking with me, like it just did.
that's great.
So yeah, yeah. Right now we're in London.
You're in London right
Alrighty,
now,
I'll be back in a minute.
visiting family.
Yeah, I'm at Tower Bridge. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Okay. Good morning, Mona. Hi, John. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for asking.
Thank you.
Good morning, Alan. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well. Doing well. How about yourself?
Good, thanks. Healthy and happy again.
Good, 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 good.
I see Michael Junta's joined us, but no picture yet.
Yeah, I'll be right with you guys. I'm just finish up a work thing real quick.
How are you feeling?
Um, I'm doing all right. I'm starving. I'm not eating very much. Like I'm perpetually hungry.
Sorry about that.
We'll work through it.
Yeah.
I'll be right back with you guys.
Okay. Hi, Mona. How are you?
Hi. I had to get my soda. It's really
Oh,
important. Good. How are you?
good. Thanks.
Michael, I'm sorry to hear you're not feeling well. Did you okay?
Wound up in the ER. I thought I was having a heart attack,
Oh my God.
and
I know.
yeah, it scared the crap out of me. I'm not one that goes to the hospital. Like I can deal with pain, but I was had an incident in the morning and I kind of went to the bathroom, laid back down in bed, rolled around a lot, fell asleep for a little bit, woke up, and I seemed to be okay. And then that evening, after I didn't even eat dinner. That evening, the pain was back in my chest again, all
Hmm.
radiating up through my chest. And I was my Felix was upstairs in the bedroom with me, rubbing my back, and he was worried about me. And I was sitting in bed, and I was flipping through articles in Men's Health magazine about, chest pain and heartburn. And I was trying to decide, like, what do I got going on here? And the pain kept getting worse. And I walked downstairs and I said to Sarah, I'm scared and I need to go to the hospital right now. And we called our neighbor to look after Felix, and they ran over immediately. And her husband and Sarah literally rushed me to the ER. I was there in less than 10 minutes, and I didn't even leave I went from the lobby right to the back. They walked in and said 50-year-old male with chest pains, and like I got essentially dove on by nurses and nitroglycerin pills, aspirin,
God.
blood work, scans, the whole yards, and luckily it was not a heart attack, but I have some kind of serious GI issue that we need to figure out.
I'm looking at your name and it doesn't say MD after it. Why were you playing doctor?
It's called being an engineer. I like to nerd out
Oh,
on what
that's
the heck
it.
is
I was
going
just I
on.
was just gonna say it does say engineer though, so
That's right.
Yeah,
know a few of those guys.
yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you're okay. And I
Yeah,
hope
glad
they
to hear
can
it turned
figure
out
this
though.
out.
They
I'm
figure out what the
okay.
problem
I'm not
is.
hungry. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. I think I know, but you can't get appointments. Like I have an appointment to see a GI specialist in 30 days. That was the quickest appointment.
Well, you can come
Wow.
down to Mission, Texas. There's some great, great physicians here and you can get in really quickly.
Truthfully, Mona, you actually have a point. Michael, you're going to be up here. Maybe you could make an appointment at the Cleveland Clinic for Friday.
That's
Well,
true.
I could talk. I have to. my insurance allows me to go wherever I want, so I could do that.
That's John was just at the Cleveland. Well, I took him. We were just at the Cleveland Clinic yesterday. We saw one doctor. They said, "Would you like a referral? We can see you today." And we waited. We
Oh
went to have
wow.
lunch, and then we went and saw the other doctor. So that's what I would do, honey. I would if I were you.
Yeah.
I'll do some calling around.
Yeah, that would be it. Mona, that's a good idea. So, well, good morning, Kendall. How are you?
Good morning. How are you doing?
We are good. Better than poor Michael.
Yes, I was
Oh,
listening and cringing a little bit.
yeah.
Thanks,
Wow.
everyone. Good morning.
Good
Hello.
morning, Sean. Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Good. Doing well.
Good. And Millie, where are you?
Am lingering in Texas, catching up with stuff, getting ready for our fun get together next month, and really anxious to see my trailer, whom I miss immensely. I cannot wait to pick her up and see how she feels.
Well, I'm going to be at Intact Saturday afternoon, Millie.
I will see you there. I have your thingamajiggy that I ordered from call them. They came in quick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And good morning, Rachel. How are you today?
Morning, everybody. Doing okay, hanging in there.
Okay. I know the weather where you're at causes you health issues, but oh,
Yes.
sorry about that, lovely Ohio.
My eyes are, yeah, they're like slowly closing the longer I'm in Ohio. The allergies and the fall stuff, but and I'm a bit hoarse, but it's okay. It's all right. Hopefully well, I'll be here through our strategy session, and then I'm gonna get away from it. I'm gonna run away.
So for you Ohio people, what do us wimpy weather people from California need to be prepared for the first week of November? Like,
Everything.
oh,
Layers. Bring layers.
It's so
Actually,
true,
John, I think you're closer to HQ than I am. I'm 3 hours west or east of HQ.
Yeah, everything. I mean, we could have snow, we could have rain, we could have frost,
Indian
which we have
summer.
now. It's 34 degrees. It was this morning here in Indianapolis.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think we'll have a locust plague, but
That's good to
you
hear.
might.
anything else is available.
Well, they say layer, 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 probably a polar fleece and things like that. So,
Yeah. One year in May at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the 500, we had snow.
Oh
Oh
wow.
my.
You had
and
to rub
about
that
three
in, didn't
times
you?
I remember snow at Halloween here.
Hey,
So,
Sean, I have AccuWeather pulled up for my place or for Jackson Center, and it's hovering around the high. The highest low is Sunday the 2nd at 46. But then it goes 41, 36, 43. Yeah, it's going to be a little chilly.
Yeah,
yeah.
this is probably a wear socks week coming.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on it, and it seems like we're in Tennessee right now, and it's like we're getting some lows that are a little bit lower, but the highs are higher where we're at. So it's it'll be what it'll be, I guess. Figure it out.
Good morning, Susan. How are you doing? Oh, you're muted.
I'm doing fantastic. How about the rest of everybody?
We're
Good.
hearing all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Ken, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm doing especially well because I'm camping on Pettigene Mountain. It's a Wynn Rockefeller Foundation where there's a museum of automobiles, a lodge, a big campground, but we are boondocking, and it all starts today, and it's going to be too much fun.
Ken, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Good.
Life is
Good.
good. Back in Colorado.
David Gully, yay. This is awesome to see you. Good for you. You're muted. You're muted, sweetie.
Thank you very much. As they always say, it's good to be seen.
It's
Yeah.
great to see you. So good.
Well,
We
thank you.
haven't
Good to
wanted
see
to
you
bug
too.
you, because I knew you're recuperating, but boy, it's nice to hear your voice.
Well, I'm glad to be back here and doing this. I feel good about it.
Good.
And
Thanks.
thank you everybody here for all their wishes and blessings and prayers. It really meant a lot to me.
That's awesome. Tracy, how are you doing?
Doing great. It's beautiful here in Texas this morning.
You're rubbing it in. It's gray and 42 here.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like Jan, we're at a boondocking rally this week, and we're leaving shortly after this call. So we're hoping that the weather holds for that.
Well, I'll try and keep it to less than 7 or 8 hours today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Chuck, welcome. This is fun to have a VP here. You're standing in for Chris, so it's wonderful to see you.
Good to see y'all. Thanks for having me.
We're delighted you're here. And
Patty
Denny, I
Galupo's
understand
in
you're.
the
Oh, go ahead.
Patty Galupo's in the lobby, just so someone knows.
Okay. Thanks, by the way. And Dandy, I see you're driving.
Yes. Sorry, guys.
That's
I
okay.
have a
Life goes
business
on.
trip and I have to be in Memphis shortly. So I left at 5 a.m. and thought I'd be at my location in time for the meeting, but traffic had a different plan for me today.
Life. Mike, good morning.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. Good morning, everyone.
Are you in Ohio?
Yes.
So you're cold too. Okay.
I don't mind this weather. I really don't mind this weather.
I don't either, actually. I kind of like it. You sleep better at night. Yeah. And Bob, how are you doing?
See, there you go. I'm good. I'm good.
That's great. And what's your weather like?
Oh, it's beautiful down here. 70s in the days and 40, upper 40s at night. So this is why I live here.
Yeah, well, I'm looking out the window at the gray clouds, wondering what am I doing? So we are waiting on a few folks and just about ready to get started. We need Patty, John Holly.
Patty's in.
Hey, Jenny, I'm here.
Oh, good. Oh, hi, Patty. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
We're fine, thank you. Finally got over that doggone cough. So that's good. And we've got Jim aboard. Yay. Hi, Jim. And I'm trying to see if Lori Grassie's here.
Hi, Jenny. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt, but we do have a board member that's in the attendee section. If they could change their name so we know who that is, we could promote them over to the panelists so they could be part of that.
Yeah, I don't see Ed or John Holly. Or Lori Grassie. Lori Grassie just sent me a message that she's not able to log in through Board Effect or the link she received from Sherry.
If you can give Sherry a call, try to
Okay.
help her.
I got the same message when I was trying to log in through Board Effect. And so then I went to Sherry's email and I was able to get in that way. So I don't know if that helps.
It was a bit funny this morning, wasn't it? Okay. We'll see if she can get in. And then is Ed in?
I don't know who this board member is. I'm gonna have Amanda promote them and hopefully then we can get their name changed.
Okay. So what I'm doing right now, we're trying to get Lori Grassi in. And so I'm texting her. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Hi, Ed. How you doing?
Good. That was a little frustrating. I could see everybody, but it didn't show me. So
Huh.
I'm here now.
Well, we see your beautiful face now.
Thank you.
All right. And I think the only one we're waiting on is Lori Grassi. Am I correct?
but it looks like Jenny, I'm trying to help them here.
Okie dokie. I'm patient. We're patient. We kind of do need our parliamentarian.
Yeah,
I'm kind of not great at that stuff, so I totally need her.
I'm instructing her, Jenny, right now to do it manually.
Okay. Why don't we call the meeting to order? Lori will get in when she can get in. Oh, and John Holly is calling me right now. Let's find out what John has to say.
It's the same link we've been using.
Hi, John.
Two, 5, 1.
We don't either, John. I have no idea how to do that. Is that some? Okay. Well, I suppose we can leave you on my phone, and can all of you hear John through my phone? No?
No.
No.
Okay.
Jenny, does he need the phone number to call in?
Okay, John, let me talk with Lori for a sec, okay? Hold on.
I think he's traveling.
He's driving, he's on his phone, he can see and hear us, but we cannot see or hear him.
Because that would mean he's in as an attendee.
Hasn't been promoted, yeah.
Well, we need to know his phone number so we can
Okay,
promote
John,
him.
tell me your phone number. Tell me your phone number. 213 304 7769.
Okay.
And hopefully we can promote you as a panelist, and you should be able then to be on the phone with us. Okay. I'm going to hang up, okay? Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, it seems like there's been technical difficulties this morning. There must be moths in the phone lines.
Yeah, we see a John's iPhone, so hopefully that's John
Holly,
John
yeah.
Holly. We're going to promote him.
Let's get started. I don't want to take up all your time on this information. So I'd like to call the meeting to order. And it is 11:07 a.m. Kendall, will you please call the roll?
Good morning, all. President Schnittler,
Here.
Vice President Heavener,
Here.
Secretary Felder here, Executive Council Member Hamlin,
Present.
Executive Council Member Jarrett,
Here.
Executive Council Member Johansson,
Present.
Executive Council Member Miller,
Here.
Executive Council Member O'Donnell, Executive Council Member O'Donnell. There she is. Executive Council Member Shaw.
Present and accounted for.
Past President Watts.
Present.
Region 1 President Junta.
Present.
Region 2 President Galupo.
Here.
Region 3 President Ely.
Here.
Region 4 President Pasfa.
Here.
Region 5 President Deegan.
Here.
Region 6 President Gully.
Present.
Region 7 President Olson. Madam President, are we setting a proxy for Region 7
We are
President?
having a proxy with Mr. Zellermeyer as first VP.
Region 7 Vice President Zellermeyer.
Here.
Region 8 President O'Connor.
Present.
Region 9 President Elkins.
Here.
Region 10 President McPhee.
Here.
Region 11 President Holly.
Here.
Region 12 President Bloom.
Present.
Parliamentarian Grassi.
She's on
Is
her way
attempting-
in.
Yeah, we'll note her time when she enters.
Okay. Finance Director Rab.
Here.
Executive Director Tilton.
Here.
Madam President, we're all here and accounted for.
And we
There
have a
she is.
quorum.
And we have a quorum.
Thank you. Next, the roll has been called. We have a quorum, so we will review the minutes from our last meeting. Are there any corrections or changes to the minutes?
Yes, there needs to be a correction to the minutes to amend the roll call to remove the CBO chair Cock as he's not part of the IBT. And I move that the minutes be approved with that update.
Are there any further discussions, corrections, or changes? Hearing no more, the minutes will be approved with amended details provided by Secretary Felder without objection. Now, we will move to our reports, and we'll begin with my president's report. Let's jump right into the elephant in the room. There has been a flurry of activity this week around our caravan program. We've received a number of questions from members expressing concerns about rumors they've heard that we're going to be disbanding the program, that we're going to use third-party companies, and that we've already singularly canceled caravans, and that we've done this and we've done that. Let me clear this misinformation up right now. We are not, nor do we have any plans to use outside companies or third-party consigners to run our caravans. Our treasured caravans will still be run with the exact same format you have loved for years and years. We are not disbanding the caravan program, and we are not canceling any caravans. I'm not sure where these rumors began, but they are false. We are looking at the caravan program to address some of the challenges, such as wait lists, payments, and reports. Our ultimate goal is to streamline processes to alleviate some of these challenges and provide a more positive experience for both leaders and participants. For many of our members, the opportunity to join a caravan is the whole reason they joined this club. We are looking at ways to make this dream a reality much more easily for them. On November 7th, we have a team meeting to try and develop ways to achieve this through thoughtfully looking at what's great about the program, building on that, and defining ways to improve some real problems that have sometimes created stumbling blocks to the success of our program. Again, we'll be drafting a summary plan and presenting it to the IBT as one of the topics of our next work session. That'll be in December. Once we hammer out more details, we will share it with all of you. Immediately following today's IBT meeting, you'll all receive an email with a brand new feature I'm starting today, where you'll be given a summary of what's happening at the IBT level of this club. There are additional details I described that go a bit more in depth on this particular topic of caravans, which I anticipate will answer many of the specific questions members have been asking. I decided that every member should hear the actual facts and not be confused by unfounded rumors and feel comfortable with the reasons for looking into these concerns from both our caravan leader and caravaner perspective as well. And one last comment about the caravan program. Our caravan program is not a separate club like some have asserted. The caravan program is a program within the WBCCI. In fact, BCCI literally stands for the Wally Byam Caravan Club International. So we are the Caravan Club. You may have heard talk that it's a separate entity. Unlike local clubs, the caravan program does not hold its own charter. It is not a registered entity with the state of Ohio, and it is not a standalone organization. Constitutionally, it is designated as a standing committee. It is part and parcel of the WBCCI. My hope is that it continues to flourish and remain one of the premier experiences offered to our members, as it has throughout our history, as a program run by the Standing Committee of the WBCCI. Be sure to read your email titled, "And Now Breaking News," to get further information about this discussion. So let's move on to the other business of the club. We've been incredibly busy this past quarter. Everyone on the IBT has been assigned to serve as liaisons for all standing committees and intra-clubs. And this is the first time we get to see our region presidents bring their insights and expertise into this liaison role. This highlights how committed and accessible your entire IBT is for so much more than ever before, which hopefully translates into a greater understanding for you, our members, of just how your governing structure works in service to you. And now, speaking of service to our membership, we will be convening in person in just 11 days for our third annual strategy session in Jackson Center, Ohio. We are so honored to be guests of Airstream Inc. for a 3-day seminar as we look at the previous long-range plan, assess what's been accomplished, and plan for where we hope to direct our attention in the next year. We actually look at a 1-year, a 5-year, and a 10-year projection to aim at, with the understanding that our plans must remain flexible to adapt to future changing environments. During this meeting, nothing is voted on. We simply provide the opportunity to have an in-depth study of things like our technology needs, cybersecurity, financial goals, partnering relationship development, the ins and outs of how to draft a motion, best practices for managing the business of our club. And once we finish up, we'll be summarizing everything and be sharing a report with all of you on the topics as well as a strategy for long-range planning. We did have a standing committee that used to look at this long-range planning long ago, but with it being inactive, this format was started 3 years ago to involve the Executive Council and all 12 region presidents. And I'm looking forward to a very fruitful 3 days together. One of the most exciting things that's happened last month was the appointment of an interim technology director. 2 years ago, the role of international treasurer was elevated to an interim financial director position. This position became a permanent position when it was approved by the membership in a constitutional amendment. The financial director is a non-voting member of the executive council, and he reports monthly on his committee's activities. As things in our club have become more and more complex and sophisticated, we recognize that the skills to manage the diversity of financial needs lie in the realm of a CFO, one who has an expertise in a broader range of fiduciary knowledge. We find ourselves now facing a similar need in technology. Therefore, I've appointed an interim technology director, a position I hope will lead to a permanent technology director affirmed with a constitutional amendment in 2027. We are limited in voting on constitutional amendments to only bringing them forward during an election cycle. So I've asked Mark Needham, whom many of you know very well, to serve in this interim role, and Mark has graciously agreed. Mark brings an unparalleled skill set to this, and with his help, we hope to greatly improve our website, our member interaction, and user ease. The motion we will craft in 2027 will seek to make the technology a non-voting member of the Executive Council, as this position will only become more and more essential as we need to continuously guide our technology forward and face our ever-changing arena of needs. Again, cybersecurity, which all of you have seen lately as a real challenge, AI, member interface, reporting and communications, and all sorts of technology needs are constantly needing monitoring and upgrading, and we need a person who understands this fast-paced technology. I'm imminently confident that Mark Needham is the right person for our club. Now, one last happy thing, our brick campaign. We extended the order deadline until the 31st of December, and I just sent out over 80 letters to our Airstream sponsors, inviting them to participate in having a custom brick logo created for our Campus 2 project. Our campaign has been quite successful, but if you haven't ordered your own brick yet, you now have a little bit more time. Please consider doing so. My personal goal is for the completion of the clubhouse and the historical library renovation, the pavilion and the dog park, and 6 new campsites to use only donated dollars, no member dues. So please, if you can, help out. The campus will be something I think our grandkids will be proud of. Finally, I want to wish all of you a happy Thanksgiving and thank you from the bottom of my heart for your hard work and your service to this club. Our volunteers are the best part of the WBCCI, and I'm humbled by your kindness and your support. Now, let's hear from our Executive Council Vice President, Jan Hevener.
Thank you, Jenny. I just wanted to come to talk to all of you today.
Madam President, do you see that there are hands raised?
Oh, I did not see that. I apologize. And
Yep.
Lori Grassi, welcome.
Thank you,
I think Ken Johansson is first.
Yeah.
You're muted, Ken.
Okay, technically challenged here. I want to clarify something that, again, the Caravan Club is a separate entity. It files its own tax return, has its own ID number, and I can send you all a copy of the tax return if you'd like to see it, but it is recognized by the Internal Revenue Service as a separate 501c7 organization.
Perhaps Lori Tilton might comment on this for us.
It is, along with the other, we have 140 some EINs that are registered with the IRS as 501c7s. Several years ago, when we found a hole in the loop, we have one primary, WBCCI has a primary caravan EIN that we file all of the other caravans under. So there's 40 some listed on this that is submitted through a 990.
Correct. That's correct. But it's submitted as the Caravan Club submits one tax return, which I know you signed, Lori. And as far as the other EINs, that shouldn't be. I mean, the caravan leaders should be using the primary employer identification number.
That's why they're listed. Ken, we were advised by, and as the financial, and Alan can comment, as the financial committee got involved and our CPAs got involved, we need all those EINs for banking purposes. Every bank account has to have a separate EIN number.
Well,
Therefore, that's why all of those are listed on the 990 we file for the National Caravan.
Okay, I'll go look.
And all of those are listed, and the National Caravan is listed under the WBCCI 990 that is filed.
Okay, I did
As
not.
we're all in the group exemption.
Well, I understand group exemptions and I understand consolidated tax returns. And I don't know about the separate EIN numbers. I can look into that. But the fact remains that the Caravan Club is a separate entity from the main club.
That is governed by WBCCI.
Whatever, but again, it is a separate entity.
So,
Thank you very much for your comment. Mike Pasva, please.
So on a couple things, which one of my questions was, I thought that was separate, but I think you guys are going to work through that. Who's going to be at the November 7th meeting? That's my first question. And the next is, who else from the caravan leaders will be present for this meeting regarding their caravan part of, the club?
Excellent question, Mike. So at the November 7th meeting, we have me and George Beckwith, the new Caravan Standing Committee Chair. We have Alan Rabb, Mona, who is the EC liaison and also quite experienced in caravans and is also a leader. Mark Neidham will be there to help hopefully guide us with technology opportunities. And Lori Tilton. The new employee, Taylor, will also be there. So hopefully she will be developing some greater understanding of all of this. And most likely, I don't know that anyone else is coming to that. Is anyone else coming, Lori, that you're aware of?
I know Amanda will be involved since she's
Amanda, I'm sorry.
has been assisting for 3-4 years.
Is the new employee, and then this is it, because that brought up another question. Is the new employee for the caravans? Was that the purpose of the new employee?
You know what, I'll defer to Lori because the new employee is under Lori's employ.
Thank you, Jenny. So just so you all know, 6 months ago, when we started down this road, the current team is extremely overworked, overloaded, working 40+ hours a week. So, and Amanda, unfortunately, is the one who's carrying the big stick right now. So we are dividing and pulling some of the task from Amanda to Taylor. Just started with us on Monday. So caravan coordination will be under Taylor. Taylor's going to be doing our bookkeeping, our accounting aspect of it, as well as working with meeting management, the compliance on the IRS. There's a whole plethora of things. So it's just distribution of work. It's not not solely for caravans, but I can tell you the team spends probably collectively 30 to 40 hours easily on caravans because of phone calls. But again, this has been something we started earlier this year in this process. I hope that helps.
Thank you. Sean, you're next, please.
So at the risk of sounding like a geeky accountant, which I am, the caravan files a separate tax return. And this is something that Alan and the Finance Committee is going to address because we think that this is an old legacy issue of filing a separate tax return. But whomever wants to download this public document, I refer you to Part 4, line 34, and the related Schedule R, which clearly states that the caravan is related to WBCCI. So, and everyone else discuss Constitution, all that other stuff, but I also want to just say from a tax return point of view, it's also pretty clear that it's related. So sorry for the technical mumbo jumbo.
Thank you, Sean.
Madam President,
Yes.
so I realize that you opened this discussion with your president report, but this is not a scheduled agenda item. So I don't know how important the rest of the questions are at this moment, but you might want to defer them to the budget, as that's where they would go. The issue is that this is just not a specific agenda item, but you did open the discussion under your report, so you have liberty to decide.
I will take Michael Junta's comments. However, Ken, you have already spoken, and if you have additional comments, let's take those offline. I really feel that this can continue on for several hours if we'd like, but again, it's not a typical part of a president's report.
Hey, thank you, Jenny, for allowing me to have a question. I know we're trying to move this along. So I just want some clarity, if you don't mind. So if I heard you correctly, you would like to add Mark or a position of a technology position as an EC member. Is that correct? Did I hear that correctly?
Correct, a non-voting EC member.
Okay, non-voting, but in understanding the Constitution, that requires a constitutional change.
Exactly.
Are you
And
planning
that's-
on adding that in the future
I'm-
to the
well,
members to vote on?
You might have noted I said that in my present report. A constitutional change can only take place during an election cycle. So that would be 2027. And we would definitely be drafting a motion with, of course, all of your help, if that's a direction we want to keep, and drafting a motion for the entire membership to vote on. So you're completely correct in thinking that.
Okay, great. So I'm glad I have clarity on that. So then as an interim position, it's just a chair position only, correct?
Well, he's more or less considered a guest of the EC. There's no he's not a chair position. We don't really have that because we don't really have a standing committee for a technology director position. So we had a technology category, but that was for writing articles in the Blue Beret about things like your brakes or your sway bars. It wasn't this. It wasn't the technology of the club. So he's more or less at this point an interim, and it's serving in a guest role.
Thank you for the clarity.
Okay, you bet. Okay, we are going to move on to, I believe our vice president was attempting to read her report. Thanks, Jan.
That's okay. Hey, everybody. I just wanted to briefly let you all know I was asked to be the chair of the Special Committee Region President's Term Restructure. We have a committee. We have met 2 times. We are planning to meet next Monday again, and we are working together and getting this job done. I can just tell you it's going very well. We're hoping to get a report completely together that we can have a discussion at the strategy meeting. And it's going very well. Our people, I can't thank them for working so well together and getting this job done. But I think it's going to be great. I think we're going to be on track, and I'm hoping everybody will be willing to discuss it and keep on going with this matter.
Sounds great, Jan. Thank you kindly.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we move to our executive director's report.
Thanks, Jenny. It's been uploaded. Just want to give everybody a couple updates as of this morning. We have 10,335 memberships. So just a reminder, that is the best number since 1998. So excited that we are superseding those numbers from the good old days, as we could say. They keep coming in. So we're excited about that. Just a couple highlights is that on September 3rd, we released, we have a 3% card convenience fee that's been deployed on all of our platforms. The calendar renewal season just kicked off on October 3rd. Amber, our membership coordinator, included all of y'all on an email that has some how to renew your membership, some of those renewal guides. So if anybody has any questions, you can assist there, as well as that information is also on our ACI blog. You can see it on the blog as well as download it. So that's all out there. We also have updated some of the, we have it on our parking lot to get done in the next couple months, is kind of structure the leadership portal page. That's where you guys you can find copies of the Blue Book and examples of the model constitution and motions and whatnot. So we're going to clean that up a little bit, but we did upload the ACI Treasurers Guide that Alan's team put together and worked with a lot of club treasurers and region interclub treasurers. So that is out there, as well as our sublicense agreement on the usage of the Airstream name. So both those things have been recently added there, and we're going to follow up on the sublicense with an email shortly to make sure all new incoming presidents and whatnot are aware of what we can and can't do out there in the big internet world. And then the only other thing I want to give you an update is that our Minot registrations are going awesome. We have 769 registrations already. We are just resumed our bi-monthly, the rally team bi-monthly meetings, gave them a little break after York because that's always quite exhausting, the actual rally itself. And then we are wrapping up and we'll be sending out to everybody. We have an information packet for our interclubs and to make sure they understand all of the resources that are available and opportunities for them to continue to expand their footprint within the club. So those are the updates I have as of this moment.
Thank you so much. Are there any other executive council reports? Okay, very well. Oh, John, do you have a hand up? No. Okay, sorry. I thought you had a hand up. Never mind. We'll go on now to our financial update with our Financial Director, Alan Rabb.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Let me share my screen as I do. Send request. It says I can't share. Request has been sent.
Stand by.
Stand by. All right. Can you all see that okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I received a fair amount of feedback after last quarter's presentation that I threw a ton of stuff at y'all and I went too fast. And so what I've done is I've altered, you've got the full deck like you had last quarter, but rather than going through all 24 slides, I'm just going to go through about 8 and I threw the rest in support schedules. And so it's all the same data in here. I'm just going to talk to it a little bit differently and I'll see if I can't slow down. If I'm going too fast or you got questions, certainly let me know. I want y'all to understand it. So I put a forward-looking statement in all of my decks. I will talk about where I think we're going to end the year. I'll talk about some forward-looking statements. They're all estimates at this point. So using words like believe and accept and anticipate is something that I will do, but you shouldn't take that as concrete actions because these are forecasts. Okay, so we'll go through my headline MD&A report. We'll go through the financial statement update, but again, instead of going through all 12 of them, we'll just go through 3. And then we'll look at where the reserve schedule and the mortgage is. And then the support schedules there are the remaining balance sheet cash flows and P&Ls for all the businesses. As a headline of what you're going to hear from me today, there's 6 items. We've exceeded our income plan through the 3rd quarter. So any member that we sign up in the 4th quarter is all gravy to us. So we're over our income plan, which is fantastic. Our expenses are largely on plan. Largely, there's some small variances, but nothing that I would consider to be substantial. There is, for the international rally, our profit is currently sitting at 117,000 on a plan of 100. There's one adjustment we're going to make in 4th quarter that will bring the profit for international rally close to about $140,000 or 150, and then we should be complete with IR. So that's where that should end up for this year. Reserves are going up. We're up 98% versus quarter 3 of last year. So we've effectively doubled our reserve balances. I'll go through that with you as well. Our mortgage is down about 20%, about $100,000. So our mortgage is coming down as well. No new activity in the mortgage for this quarter, but I'll go through that with you as well. And then the 2026 planning has been completed. I have reviewed it with the executive council. It went out in your meeting book as a pre-read, and then I've got a motion in here that I'll present to y'all for approval of the 2026 budget. We'll do that right after I finish this. Okay, so what I'm going to show to you here is, instead of breaking down, as I said, the club's financials, the caravan financials, and the international rally financials in detail, I've got the club, the caravan, and international all in the support schedules for you. So they're all there for you to look at in all the detail. What I'm going to reflect here for you is a total. One thing I'll bring your attention to, because again, I've had some additional feedback from folks that don't understand the financials, which is fine. But we do things from a cash flow perspective. There's two ways you can account for things in the finance world: on a cash basis or an accrual basis. We basically reflect things in our reporting on a quarterly basis on a cash basis. So that may not mean a lot to a lot of y'all, but it just tuck that back in your head. It'll come back one of these days. So, all right. So here's the total. Okay. So let me point a few things out to you. 70 up here on the top in red, 75% of our year is gone. We've been through 3 quarters. You remember we changed our fiscal year, so we are through, and these results are through the end of quarter 3, or in other words, through the end of September. We have one more quarter left, which is October, November, and December. The way this schedule reads, just to clear the schedule for you, our actuals are in this first column. Where we are year-to-date Q3 is in this second column. The budget we established for 25 is this third column. And then these are what percentage of the year have we spent, and then what are our variances versus last year. So let's go through membership first. So our actuals last year was 10,287 members. We had a plan of 9,862. Now, many of y'all weren't on the board when we did the plan. I actually did a thing called hedging. So I hedged the plan. In other words, I put in a more aggressive attrition rate for this year's plan based upon the fact we took a membership dues increase at the first of the year. We are not finding that the members have attrited like we had planned. Our current membership is 10,292. So we are over last year's number, and we're substantially over 425 people, or rigs rather, over our budget. What comes with that is revenue and income. Our revenue, we planned at $1,130,000. We're currently at $1,219,000. So we're favorable on our revenue budget by almost $100,000. Expenses, again, I anchor you here. 75% of the year is elapsed. From a total expense standpoint, we've spent 75% of our dollars. So we are largely on plan. You can see all the categories here. Our travel is still low. That will increase as y'all turn in your expense reports and as we conduct the strategy meeting, which is budgeted at, I can't remember, I can't remember what it is, but it's in the $30,000 to $40,000 range. Our headquarters is a little bit over budget at this point. It's largely driven by 2 things: building maintenance and technical support. Remember, we're maintaining 2 buildings at this point. We don't have a lease, an active lease with the historical center for the new building. When we get that active lease, we should see some of these expenses mitigate. I'd ask that you remember that as we move into our 2026 budget discussion, because the same trend holds. I don't make an assumption in 2026 that any of the second building is going to be leased out. I make the assumption that we're incurring all of those expenses inside of this budget. So that's where we are there. Interest, though, there's a concept called EBITDA, which is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. It's a new concept we introduced last year. Our interest and taxes and depreciation and amortization are here. Okay. We're currently at $290,000 from a net income standpoint. Our IR profit is currently at 117, as I told you, and our caravan profit is currently at $22,000. These numbers will move as we get through fourth quarter. So although it shows that we're going to make $400,000 this year, that again, here's where I'll tell you about a cash perspective. That's not where we're going to end up, because we still have a whole quarter's worth of expenses that we have to book. We book a whole nother quarter's worth of expenses and income. Our projection is this is going to come close to about $150,000 in the bottom line, which is about what our plan was. Okay. All right. I'm going to move on unless there's any burning questions. From a balance sheet standpoint, again, this is a lot to understand, but let me just tell you on a balance sheet.
Alan,
Yes.
Alan, you have some hands up.
Okay, Michael, go ahead.
Well, if you don't mind, can you go back to the slide you were on, please?
Yeah, I'm on.
Oh,
I'm
there
on.
it is. Okay. So I went through this quite a bit, actually. So I have a question, some clarity, please. On the HQ, and we were, I know we're at 75% of the year. So what do you expect the HQ budget to land? Because my quick math is that we're going to be at about $722,000 by year end.
Michael, I haven't done that projection, but I think if you take that 541 divided by 3 and multiply it by 4, you'll get your answer, right? That's about the best I can do at this point without going in and projecting every line item. But let me just do that real quick and see what 541 divided by 3 times 4. Yeah, $721,000 is where we should come in, about $80,000 over.
Significantly over the budget of 648.
Right. Let me look. Hold on. Okay, let me do the analysis by line item, Michael. There's about a dozen line items in here. It's cost of employees, cost of labor, training expenses, our mortgages in here, utilities, building maintenance, phone, real estate taxes, supplies, equipment, technical support and software subscription, email subscriptions, technical support, and equipment rental and maintenance. So there's a number of items in here. I'll have to go through and look at it. One thing I can tell you is on our technical support and software subscription, our budget was 32,000. We're currently at 44,000. And I'll have to go into the line item details in terms of why we're over there. Our building maintenance is at 31,000 and our budget was 17. So we're double on our building maintenance because I didn't plan properly for having both buildings. Our utilities are currently at 14 grand on a budget of 18. So that's likely going to go over as well. And then our employee costs, we're currently at about 400,000 on a budget of 500,000. So our employee costs should land right about where we expect it to. So, but I'll have to do a further analysis for you to let you know. But that should give you some headlines in terms of where I think we're coming in. So, Sean?
Yeah, thank you, Alan. And you briefly touched on it, but it may be helpful. I suspect some people don't understand what's in headquarters. So maybe if we just go through big picture of what's in that line item, and that may help to explain some of these variances.
Right. Okay, got it. Okay, Chuck.
Thank you, Alan. Just a quick question. I understand that we're reporting this on a cash basis. And frankly, I did not spend time with the reports, so you may address this later. What are the accounts payables that we have right now that are not being reflected in this report?
Okay, on the balance sheet, that's when you move into your balance sheet. Accounts payable at this point, we don't have any accounts payable outstanding on the balance sheet as of Q3. So
that answers my question.
Yes, we've got some Ohio tax payable of $39. We did get an invoice from the federal government that we're working with our accountants on right now. So we haven't recorded it. We received it in fourth quarter, so you wouldn't see it reflected in the balance sheet as a potential liability because we haven't chased that to ground yet. So, but at this point, we've got no outstanding AP. We've got about $10,000 of outstanding AR, accounts receivable.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay. On the balance sheet, we're clearing hands here. We're clearing hands. On the balance sheet side of things, here's the way I've tried to reflect this and consolidate it for you. All of these line items here on the left are for the club, ACI. And then I've clumped International Rally and Caravan into one line item here. I didn't attempt to consolidate them in here. So you can see what the total assets that International Rally House is 700,000 and Caravan is 51,000. If you were to move into the support schedules, you can see all the detail underneath that. I just didn't, it's not really that relevant, I don't think. The 400,000 here, that reflects what our reserve balance is, our CDs and money market. We have all of our reserve monies invested in either CDs or money market. We don't lock it all up in CDs. We keep about $100,000 liquid in money market funds. And then we just renewed CDs 2 days ago. We take those out for 5 months. We currently have a 3.7% interest rate on our CDs. So we're making some good money there, which is wonderful. Beyond that, there's not really any substantial variances that you'll see in here. You got the IR, the $494,000. That's the registrations for Minot is what that is. So it's the reason you're seeing that on the balance sheet. And then when you come down here, on our equity. You see an offset on equity for that. From a cash perspective, what happens with our cash? If you look, there's not really any substantial cash in here, variances Q3 versus Q2. So I really didn't put any call outs here. There is a little bit of a variance on International Rally and Caravan, and that's really as we're concluding the bill payments and then taking the revenue in for Minot. So cash is pretty steady. From a reserve and mortgage standpoint, so
Helen, you have questions?
yeah, Ken.
Ken, you're muted. Ken, you're muted.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. On the cash flow statement, it shows that we purchased the land and building of $744,000 in Q3. I assume that we did not buy another building.
No.
So I'm wondering, I've got two questions on that. One is, why is it showing up on 25's books? And number two, I thought we paid $600,000 for the building, or $598 that's listed in the previous year, and now we're at $744. So that's a couple $100,000 more. So have we spent $200,000 on these buildings?
No, we've spent a little over $100,000 in the buildings. And Kenwell, I'll have to do the same thing that for you that I have to do for Michael. I'll have to go down and decompose all the transactions inside of there. But yeah, we spent about another $100,000 plus in the building. We put new roofs on both the buildings. We also bought furniture and fixtures. There's a number of things that Jenny, as she led that project team for the new building, did. And we spent about $100,000 in improvements as we improved that building, plus furniture, plus, kitchen equipment, refrigerators and conference tables and things like that. So there was other money that was spent that was well within the budget. I should take that back. It wasn't well within the budget. About 80% of it was within the budget, and we had a $20,000 quote unquote overrun that we took back to the executive council and the board last year to approve a $20,000 incremental spend so we could get new furniture for the building. But I can decompose that and get you those details. That's not a problem.
Well, I understand that insurance paid for the roof on the old building, so most of this is for the new building. And I guess my understanding is we've spent 60 to 80,000 on the new building, and so you're now saying 100 plus there's another 100 that's been spent someplace else. And yeah, I'd like to know where that money was spent.
Yeah, one thing. Let me just say this as a general statement for people, and I. Not trying to sound snarky, but I am a bit frustrated. If y'all have questions on this stuff when you go through it, it's not good to put me on the spot here because I don't have those details. Send these questions to me ahead of time and let me do the research so I can answer your questions. But making me look like a fool in front of everybody doesn't do anybody good at all. So send me the questions ahead of time. I'll do the research and be able to answer your questions. Okay? Sean.
So just a quick comment, and Alan, you addressed it on last quarter's report, and so that comment didn't carry forward. Just a reminder for everyone, we broke out Caravan, International Rally, and the club as 3 separate profit centers from a QuickBooks reporting point of view. So it does make the cash flow statement look a little wonky because the club started off with a 0 balance sheet. And so all 744,000 shows up as a variance in 2025. I'm only reinforcing my geekiness here, but I just want to keep everyone in mind. It doesn't mean that $744,000 was spent in 2025. It's because of how we changed our accounting this year. So enough said. I'll stop talking.
Good. Thank you, Sean. All right, reserve reporting. We started the year. So let me set this chart for you. I know some of y'all saw this for the first time last quarter. The reserve goal was $750,000 as approved by the motions that we put forth last summer. We had $200,000 in our bank as of Q3 of last year. I took that $202,000 and reallocated it to all of these 3 reserves that we established, and I did that as a percentage of their contribution to the total. So said differently, if this 300,000 was 40% of this 750, then they got 40% of this allocation of 202. And that's the same way I allocate the monthly deposits that we put into the reserve, which by the way are a budgeted item. Okay, so right now where we are, we had a planned deposit in third quarter of $27,000. We made that. We've accumulated interest of about $2,000. So our current balance is 400,000. We're just shy of doubling our balance from a year ago. So we're well on our way to reserves. I know we're going to talk about with Mark Nigem and about technology. I just wanted to anchor everybody. The technology reserve's 160,000. Operational, which is for operational issues like building issues or things like that, 130, and then 106 on our capital, which if we have to buy capital expenditures. And then lastly, I'll close with this. Mortgage, our mortgage started at $476,000 when we took that out in September of 2023. The interest rate's just about 6.75%. Our monthly payment's $3,300. It's a 5-year mortgage term. This last quarter in quarter 3, we simply just paid our scheduled principal, our scheduled mortgage payments. And we made those scheduled mortgage payments. We had principal reduction affiliated with that. We did not make any additional payments in third quarter. I do anticipate making additional principal payments in fourth quarter, given our international rally generated some additional profit and we have exceeded our income plan already. So I do anticipate making additional payments in fourth quarter to this and additional contributions to the reserve. So we're currently at 377, which means we've paid off just shy of $100,000. Okay. Any other questions? I won't be snarky, so thank you for my tirade. What other questions might you have for me? Okay. All done, Jenny.
Very good. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Lots and lots of work. I do want to make one little comment. We're all volunteers. There's one person on this screen that is a paid employee. We are all volunteers. I think a little bit of kindness, a little bit of gentleness might be a good idea. So for those that do support that philosophy, I do appreciate that. Now let's move on to the, excuse me a second, to any other, proceed to the orders of business. Do we have any special reports? Seeing none. Is there any unfinished business?
Jenny, I'm sorry, but I think we skipped a section on the budget review.
Okay, I think you're right here. All right.
Lori G, can you?
Yeah, you have a motion to approve the budget. And my apologies, I'm struggling with all kinds of technology, so I'm moving back and forth from various machines.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Technical Financial Director Rab, you have a motion that you would like to present for the budget?
Yeah, would you like for me to present the motion or would you like for me to present the budget presentation I've put together, then the motion after that? Which way would you like to go about it?
Present the motion and then
Okay.
do the presentation.
Okay. Let me get the motion. Hold on. Bear with me. I'm pulling it up. Okay. Here it is. Okay, the motion, I move that the International Board of Trustees approve the attached operating budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2026. It was in your pre-read materials, and I referred to that earlier in the presentation that I've got to share with you. If you're interested in further in the details I sent, I'm happy to go through at the conclusion of this. The purpose and the impact, the proposed balanced budget, it's a balanced budget with a full year fund. Club will fully fund the club operations for fiscal year 2026, which is from January 1st to December 31st. The budget has been prepared while analyzing the club spending over the last 9 fiscal years. Adjustments have been made to historical spending patterns based upon efficiency initiatives and consideration of inflation costs. A detailed membership analysis was completed and the resulting income from this analysis was built into the budget. It is the committee's position, that would be the finance committee, it's the committee's position that this income forecast is conservative. Expenses were also planned conservatively. The committee has also planned contributions to all 3 reserve accounts. This is a footnote for the 2nd year in a row. These contributions are consistent with the reserve motion that was approved last summer in 2024. The budget has been reviewed with the Finance Committee and the President of ACI. The committee and the president have approved the 2026 budget. After evaluating the 2025 actuals through August 30th, and I was only through August 30th instead of September 30th because I had to prepare this motion 30 days earlier. So after evaluating the 25 actuals through August 30th versus the budget and planning the 2026 budget with this insight, it is the recommendation of the Finance Committee that 2026 budget be approved as submitted. It is also the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the dues for the fiscal year 2026 remain at the current rate of $99 US. The 2026 budget was shared electronically with the IBT for review prior to the October IBT meeting, this meeting. Background, each year the club has been in operation. It is customary for the finance director to collaboratively plan a budget with the executive director and present a summary of that budget to the IBT for approval. The financial impact is the submitted budget is balanced with no projected deficit or surplus.
Thank you. The motion has been presented and it is coming out of committee, so therefore it does not need a second. Am I correct in this, Parliamentarian Grassi?
You are
Thank
correct.
you. It is now open for discussion.
Yes, sir.
And
Ken.
Johansson? Ken, go ahead.
So I assume that your comments were directed at me. I guess my first question is, am I not allowed to make comments and ask hard questions when these things come up and to be considered? You know, it seems to me I'm very concerned with this club that anybody, whoever says anything, such as the past treasurer that we had for 45 years and Jan Reitmeyer, anytime anybody says anything, they're accused of being not nice. Is that where we're going, or am I allowed to say and ask questions that I think are relative to the subject being discussed? That's my first question. I have another question after this, so don't cut me off.
Okay, no problem. I have zero issues with questions, absolutely none, and no issues with disclosing whatever details y'all want to know about the budget. My issue is that, particularly for you, Ken, that you being in the financial world as long as you have, and you coming out of the last EC meeting, asked for a pre-read of the 2026 budget and the materials for the 2026 budget, as well as for the third quarter of 2025, were published in the meeting book by the required deadline much in advance of our meeting. And given your acuity for financial stuff, you probably had these questions when you reviewed this budget long ago. You could have done us all a favor had you sent this to me ahead of time so I could have been prepared for the detailed questions that you ask, rather than putting me on the spot for something that you know I clearly can't answer because I don't have the details at my fingertips.
Well, I did not know that you wouldn't have the answers. I honestly did not know that. Generally, back in my chief financial officer days, these are things that I was asked and expected to answer. So that's just, I didn't realize I was out of line by not asking these questions in advance. I think that the entire IBT and members need to know these questions.
I'm going to interrupt this
Discussing a motion.
Yep, I'm going to direct you right back to the motion. If you have questions on the motion that's on the floor, please address the questions.
Okay, I have a question. The headquarters expense is increased by 21% over last year's budget. Yes. And that is a concern of mine. And number two is the international rally budget is one line. I think we need to know some more detail on what's in that budget.
Okay, I've got the international rally detail. We can send that to the group after this. We actually plan that down to meals, and we plan it at, I don't know, Lori, what would you say? It's probably 40 or 50 or 60 lines of detail. And again, we've done the same thing on international rally budget that we've done on the 2026 ACI budget. We've actually looked at that over the last, I think every caravan, with the exception of the Colorado one that was canceled because of COVID. We looked at every line item in detail. We've looked at it on both a per rig basis and a per person basis to make sure that we can plan this appropriately as we move forward. So we've got that budget, and we're happy to share all the detail with you. There's no issues with that whatsoever.
May I interject quickly? You accidentally said every caravan. You're referring to every international rally.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Every international rally. Yep, exactly right. Except for the one that was in Colorado that was canceled. I've got the detail on that, but we pulled that out of the trend numbers and out of the per person and per rig numbers, so it didn't skew our planning as we plan future international rallies. as it relates to the headquarters budget, so there's a couple things going on inside of there. So the preponderance of the increase, about $100,000 of it, is in the employee area, and that's really because of two primary things. One is hiring a new employee. And if you hire somebody at $10,000, you wouldn't just see a $10,000 increase. You've got an increase in there because of benefits and because of personal time off accruals that we make. So there are other costs inside the employee line beyond just the salary number. So a new employee is in there, plus the associated benefits, and PTO accrual is in there as well. The other thing the second thing that you'll find in the headquarters budget, I just lost my whole train of thought. Oh, there's the second thing you'll find inside the employee budget is next year, we're actually cycling in a 15-month salary increase. I'm sorry, 16-month salary increase instead of a 12-month salary increase, because we have adjusted everybody to a 1/1 salary increase. Instead of doing it mid-cycle, we've aligned the salary increases with the calendar year salary increases. So that's why you see that number going up as much as it is. There are some other nominal increases. Well, nominal 10% increase on technical support and software subscriptions. And I talked about earlier that we'll get with NIDM to be able to go through these. Lori and I have an interest in making sure that we can get into that in some level of detail, plus headquarters technical support. It does reflect the fact that our equipment rental and maintenance has declined because David Gully contributed a copier to headquarters. So we pulled those lease payments out. And then we did put in an increase in real estate taxes, 5%, because taxes everywhere tend to be going up. So when you look at all the detail there, but the preponderance of it, Ken, to answer your question, is primarily employee driven, and it's primarily because of salary increases in the new employee.
I don't see any further hands up. Very good.
So you have a motion on the floor?
We have a motion on the floor at this point. We will go ahead. Are there any objections to this motion?
Yes, I will object.
Then we will do a call for a vote. A roll call vote, please. Do you want to reread the sentence of your motion that they are voting for, please?
Yes. Hold on.
Or approval of?
Yeah. I move that the International Board of Trustees approve the attached operating budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2026.
Roll call votes are done on a random basis every time. And you will need to verbally, not just nod or raising your hand, you will need to verbally assent or just express negatives. Go ahead, please, Secretary Felder.
Executive Council Member Hamblin,
Yes.
Region 9 President Elkins,
No.
Executive Council Member Jarrett,
Yes.
Region 3 President Ely,
No.
Executive Council Member Johansson,
No.
Executive Council Member Miller,
Yes.
Region 12 President Bloom,
Yes.
Executive Council Member O'Donnell. I'm sorry, can you say it again?
Yes.
Yes. Region 7 President Olson as proxy.
Yes.
Executive Council Member Shaw,
Yes.
Region 10 President McPhee,
Yes.
Region 11 President Holly,
You didn't look bad, Alan. You could never look bad. Vote yes.
Region 2 President Galupo, Region 2 President Galupo,
I think she's trying.
Yes. Yes.
Region 4 President Pasfa,
No, I gotta say no, because there's too many questions yet.
Region 5 President Deegan,
Yes.
Region 6 President Gully,
Yes.
Region 8 President O'Connor,
Yes.
Region 1 President Junta.
For the same reasons as Mike Pasqua.
When there's a vote, you guys should not be making any comments other than yes.
I didn't hear the answer. Yay and nay.
Handle it as a no. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Vice President Heavener,
Yes.
Secretary Felder, so yes. Madam President, the nays are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Call,
Oh,
excuse
I'm
me.
sorry.
Past President Heath.
Yep, I didn't have it on my list. Past President
Watts.
Heath.
Watts.
I'm sorry, it says
Yes.
Mona Heath right there.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. So the yeas are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. The nays are 5.
Motion passes. Thank you. We'll move on to next on our list is the Caravan Committee. We have reports from our standing committees. And they are report only. They're not here to read their reports. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns? Thank you. Seeing none, we'll move on to unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business? Not that I'm aware of. Thank you. We'll move on to member comment and non-agenda items and correspondence to the IBT. We received a whole lot of comments about the rumors, a whole flurry of comments. One thing I hope that our members note is that we will be taking questions for our IBT meetings 48 hours ahead of time. It's difficult if they come in 5 minutes before an IBT meeting. We simply cannot get to them. Not that they're not important. We want to know what everyone says, but we want to make sure we have time to incorporate their questions. We have had a few questions. Most of them have been related to the caravans, and I'm going to defer answering those further if you haven't understood what I've said in my president report to the message that's going to come out right after this IBT meeting, where I directly address a lot of those concerns. Are there any other comments or questions, Lori, that you feel I need to address right now?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Now we'll move into consent items. Our first one is with 2025-32. Hammer, do you have the motion ready?
I think we have to promote Jim Cock. I think he's making that motion.
Are these
Jim is here.
consent? Are you in the
Yeah,
consent section?
These are in consent. So you want to read each motion out loud.
We have 4 of them. And what we're hoping to do is there's 4 items that often become pretty standardized things that we would like to just not necessarily put into significant debate. I don't know that they're potentially anything anyone has a whole lot of challenge with. But what we do is we look at these items, and if everyone is in agreement that there's nothing further to discuss about them, we will often take a unanimous vote. We'll seek a unanimous vote. But if not, if you'd like to discuss them, that's an opportunity you have here as well. So I think Jim Cock he's on this somewhere.
Hi, I'm here.
There you go. Okay. Will you present Hammers?
Yes, thank you. Motion maker is Debbie Hammer, Chair, Ethics and Grievance Committee. The title of the motion is Proposed Changes and Additions to Bylaws Article 5. I'll read the motion. I move that Bylaws Article 5 be amended to add some clarifying language.
That's all it says?
That's the name of the motion. After a second, I can read purpose and impact and background, financial impact.
Second to this motion.
It's from the committee, so it shouldn't need.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Purpose and impact. Intra-clubs were not spelled out in the provisions of the Ethics and Grievance Article 5. Also, a confusing qualifier in there. The word events was in there where it should not have been, and that's removed. Also, the committee has added social/digital media occurrences and clarified some other language. The background, information about interclubs and social/digital media need to be incorporated into Article 5. It is revised to narrow the scope of paragraph 2 of new item D by adding if moderated by a WBCCI entity, that's referring to social media groups, and replaced event with level to clarify occurrences are not limited to rallies and events. There is no financial impact.
Thank you. We did discuss these motions at our work session on September 18th. Are there any objections to this motion? Seeing no objections, this motion will be adopted. Next, please, Jim Cook, you have, the next one is amend the bylaws for sublicensure agreements.
Yes, thank you. I move to amend bylaws Article 6, Section 3, by inserting a title for the section, Use of Airstream Licensed Property, comma, by labeling the introductory paragraph as subsection A, rephrasing it for clarity, by inserting a new subsection B to state when entities must sign the sublicensure agreement, and renumber the following subsections accordingly, and insert the word, quote, violated, end quote, before term or condition in the last subsection as stated in Exhibit 1. This is from the CB&L committee.
Therefore, does not require a second.
The purpose and impact statement. This amendment ensures consistent compliance with the terms governing the use of Airstream licensed property and protects WBCCI's legal and brand integrity in accordance with WBCCI Bylaws Article 6. This clarifies and strengthens WBCCI's bylaws by explicitly requiring leadership of new entities to sign the WBCCI sublicense agreement prior to receiving a provisional charter, and it establishes an annual review and renewal process for all existing entities. Shall I read the background and financial impact?
Please.
Background. Successive leaders in an entity are unlikely to be aware of prior signings of the sublicensure agreement and of its importance. Awareness of and compliance with the WBCCI sublicense agreement is critical to maintaining continued legal use of the Airstream name and likeness by WBCCI and its entities. While the requirement for new entities to sign the sublicense agreement before receiving a provisional charter is implied, it is not currently stated in the bylaws, creating potential ambiguity.
Thank you. Any financial implication?
There's no financial, oh, I left out one more, sorry. The club currently has no formal provision to ensure ongoing awareness and compliance with the sublicensure agreement among the leadership of local clubs, regions, interclubs, and caravans. This poses a risk to WBCCI's licensing obligation with Airstream Inc. Financial impact, there is no financial impact.
I open this to discussion. Michael Junta, you have your hand raised.
Thank you. When we were talking about this during the work session, I'd requested to see a copy of the sublicensure agreement. I've yet to receive it. I've looked for it on in the leadership portal, etc. I fundamentally don't have a problem. I just feel like we need to see what that agreement is.
Thank you. I don't have access to send that to you right now.
Ms. Tilton has her hand up.
Yes.
Sorry, I was just jumping on. I can share my screen real quick.
Thank you.
Sure. That's what I was trying to do, two things at once. Okay, so go. Does everybody see my screen? This is the leadership portal. If you scroll down here, right here under the official non-IBT related forms, here's the sublicense information as well as that treasurer's guide I mentioned. So that's where you can find those. Again, we know this needs to be cleaned up and we'll be working on that, but that's where you can find those right now.
Lori, it's not showing up on my screen yet. I see the screen, but I don't see the sublicensure item. Is it down further?
Does others see this down here
I
where
do.
I'm?
Yeah, I see it.
Yes, we see it.
Okay. Okay.
So it's under the official non-IBT related forms section.
I see it now. Okay. Thank you.
So it's down there.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Without objection, this motion passes unanimously. Dindy Jarrett has the next one. Dindy, are you going to read this or are you having Jim read this for you?
I'm having Jim read it because I am in
Right, I
travel.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Jim, would you mind taking on Dindy Jarrett's motion, please?
Thank you. On behalf of Dinty Jarrett, Executive Council, the title is Policy Standard for Logos. I move to amend Policy 16.6.9 Flags and Pennants, subsection A, 5 and 6, by inserting new language and renumbering the items accordingly, and to correct the reference to Executive Committee to Executive Council in old subsection 5, as stated in Exhibit 1.
Thank
This
you.
needs a second.
We need a, thank you. We need a second.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay, purpose and impact. This adds reasonable minimum standards for logos for the club. Absent reasonable minimum standards, the EC or IBT have little basis for reviewing and approving or disapproving proposed logos. I'll go off script very briefly. Before you, the IBT, were required to approve proposed logos, but there was no guideline stated at all in our rules. Okay, back onto the script. Background. Currently, policy 16.6.9 is nearly silent on requirements for logos. The policy states only that logos require the approval of the EC or the IBT. Oh, okay, I could have just read the script. There's no financial impact.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Seeing as how no hands are raised, there's no discussion. We will pass this unanimously. Thank you. Next, Jim Cock, you have name badges.
I move to amend policy 16.6.8 badge standard items by changing the first paragraph of item A, inserting a new item B for pet badges, and renumber the following items to C through F. And this comes from a committee. All right, I'll read the purpose, impact, and background. This motion intends to more clearly state the member badge guidelines and provide support and direction to HQ staff who, name badge requests, I'm sorry, it's a typo, who fulfill name badge requests. Members sometimes ask for names of companies in lieu of club name and false names in lieu of member name. Bylaws Article 13, Section 4 restricts badge text information to name of local club, name of the member, and if applicable, current or past elected positions of office. Policy 16.6.8 provides guidelines for official badges and titles, but only refers generally to member badges. There's no financial impact.
Thank you. Tracy Elkins has her hand up. Tracy?
Thank you. I move to amend motion 2025-33 by adding the words "at the expense of member" to section A.
She needs a second for her.
Thank you, Tracy.
Unless,
Please.
unless the maker of the motion accepts the amendment.
Okay, so first of all, I thank Tracy for reaching out to me ahead of this meeting so that I could expect this and figure out where it goes. I would like to read the statement. It's the very first part on the attachment on your motion where this would.
Do you need to accept?
Oh, I'm sorry. I accept the motion to amend using the words "at the member's expense."
And now Tracy speaks to her amendment.
Okay.
I believe that this just further clarifies that these badges would be offered, but there is an expense to the member to obtain them.
Thank you, Tracy.
And
Back
that
to you,
was
Jim.
not anywhere in our bylaws or rules. So thank you, Tracy, for adding that. Shall I read the revised statement as amended?
Yes.
Okay. 16.6.8 badge standard items, name badges. Item A, headquarters will issue a standard membership badge to a new member of WBCCI at the time of joining, period. Members may request additional badges at the member's expense for themselves, their dependent children, and their pets.
So
That's the extent of the revision. Sorry?
Just a quick little set aside of what just happened. And Lori, you can explain it better than I, but for everybody, this is a new process when we have an amendment to a motion and it's brought back to the motion maker and they approve. So Lori, kind of outline for everyone, sort of where is this process at this moment so we understand what we're voting on.
You're going to be voting on an amended motion. So motion 2025-33 as amended.
So we do not need to vote for Tracy's because our motion maker has accepted it. We are now going to be voting for the newly amended motion as Jim just read it. Are there any discussions? Seeing as how there are no objections or discussions, this motion passes unanimously. Thank you. We're going to take a brief break. We've been working since 11. It is 12:23, and we will break for, is 10 minutes enough for everybody? So we will reconvene at 12:33 so we can approach the next series fresh. All right? We'll see you in 10 minutes.
Hey, Tracy. Yeah, there.
Hello.
I said it, but I was all in a rush and a fluster. Thank you for bringing up the idea yesterday about amending the motion. And I apologize for forgetting that our parliamentarian provided me a script.
Well, no problem. I'm glad that we got that through. That was very nice.
Yeah, appreciate working with you on that.
You bet. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Lori.
So my manager told me that my screen was cutting off the top of my head. Is it back?
It is back.
Good. Okay. Thank you, Debbie. And Ms. Grassi, sorry for messing up the script on managing an amendment to motion.
You know what? This is not easy, so don't worry about it.
Well, and I had not planned on presenting Ms. Hammer's motion, so that I was scrambling to get started here on that one. All right. Well, speaking of which, is Joe with us to present those two motions?
That's a good question. I
I'll
suspect
be,
in the meeting room, that would be a Lori and
Well,
Sha-
actually, yeah, I'm just coming back online. I was going to ask Joe to raise his hand since we don't see a clear Joe Poplinski. If he could raise his hand, then we'll get him promoted when it's his turn to do the two motions.
okay. And if that doesn't work, I'll be very happy to faithfully represent his motions if need be.
All right, we see him. We'll get him promoted here in
Good.
just a minute.
Perfect.
Joe, welcome.
Am I unmuted now?
Yeah, you are. How are you doing?
Doing good. First time I'm trying to call in from inside my Airstream. I've seen people do this many times. I've usually been at home. So
Well, you're looking very official.
my hotspot has said I had an unstable connection a while ago, so hopefully it'll stick.
Hi,
We'll get
Joe.
rolling in about another minute, and then Jim has a motion before yours, and then your two motions.
Okay. I'm going to go on mute till it's my turn. I'm going to move this to my second screen. So when it comes time to unmute, I got to pull it back to my primary screen to unmute. So sorry, it'll take me a moment when I unmute.
Okay.
Jenny, you guys did a fantastic job getting the word out to members. And I'm wondering how many have joined us today and are observing the meeting. Do you have any way of telling us?
Lori can tell us.
Yeah, I can tell you today we have we have about 49 right now that are watching. We were up to 50 some, and actually it's higher than usual. Normally we have about 18 to 20 that watch us.
Well, thank you for doing that. I think it's important that our members know that they have access to this and that it's easy for them to get to.
Thank you, Tracy. It's true. And I do thank the headquarters staff for doing that. And Tracy, you bring up a great point, which is why I made that decision to start a new feature immediately after this so that every single member has a summary of what we talked about. Actually, some of it's not a summary, some of it's very detailed. But you're right. I'd love to have everybody engaged in all of this stuff. It makes it when we have misinformation, it can clear it up. When we have questions of procedures or why we're doing things, hopefully it gives them insight. So we are back on track. Okay, we're back in TV land out there and ready to go. So we're going to continue on to new business. And this is where we will be discussing some motions. And these motions they're moved out of consent items because they have more discussion points. We don't expect necessarily that we would seek a unanimous vote. We would most likely want to have a roll call vote for these items. That's why we separate them this way. We'll begin once again with our CB&L Chair, Jim Cock. Thank you.
Thank you. This next motion is about the minimum number of members to obtain or maintain a club charter. I move that bylaws Article 6 club organization be amended by inserting a new section 1 that defines a voting membership as a primary member and their spouse or partner where applicable. The following sections in Article 6 will be renumbered 2 through 7 respectively. This comes from the committee.
Therefore, not needing a second.
The purpose impact statement is this motion clarifies that the original intent of at least 10 households are required to form or maintain a club charter. Several years ago, the International Club adopted in bylaws Article 4, Section 3, a new reference to membership, wherein every member and their spouse or partner each have one vote. I'm going to add a brief statement to that. It was confusing because we have a rule that says you have to have at least 10 members to obtain or maintain a charter. Once we created that rule that every member and spouse can each have one vote, it was confusing with our other rule. There's no financial impact.
I open this for discussion. Is everyone clear on what we're voting for here? John, please.
Thank you. Are there any clubs that would be at risk of not having the required number of members?
Can you address that, Jim?
I can.
Oh, Lori.
Yes, CMBL does not track the number of members per club. Thank you, Lori.
Yeah, I was just going to mention, I think, John, it was you that said that. I'm sorry, my screen moved on me. So every after the big cycle of calendar year, we always go through to see how many members are active in a club. And if we see anybody in jeopardy, which we have had in the past, then we'll engage the region president, see what we can do to help that club. But as of this second, no, we do not have anybody in jeopardy.
Thank you.
James?
When is the last time that we had a club in jeopardy, just for knowledge?
It happens every year.
Gotcha.
Well, and the last time that we had an impact like that might have been, not to name names, but Western North Carolina perhaps was the last one that really dwindled that way that I remember.
Thank you. Bob Ely?
Yes. Yeah, actually, Jim, the last one was Georgia Coastal, down here in 3. They dwindled below. My question to you or to this is, it has to be 10 households, not 10 members. That is the first question. And that is full-time members, not affiliate members.
Is that the intent, Jim? what Bob is describing.
Correct on both counts.
All right, thank you.
And Bill Hamblin?
Yeah, so just a point of clarity around the clubs at Jeopardy, the way I understand it, if we're changing this to read as memberships, not households, or voting members, not households, that actually should help clubs and not put them at jeopardy theoretically. If you have, I guess I was reading it as one trailer, one BRN versus 2 voting members, if that's what this is clarifying.
I think you have it backwards, Bill. This is saying that you have to have 10 voting memberships, a membership being a trailer with an owner and a spouse partner. That's one membership.
Understood. Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. All right.
If I may make a quick observation, right now we have 10,290 memberships. We have somewhere around 19,000 members. So the membership is what we're defining here.
Right.
Is there any further discussion, concerns, or questions? Let's call for a roll call vote.
Well, wait, can we call for, but I'm not, it's not my place. Go ahead, parliamentarian.
Bob Deegan has a question.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm a little confused on this now.
Okay.
And does what we're defining here as the memberships, does it follow with the other definitions of primary members in our Constitution and bylaws? So everything would track this. The same verbiage is used throughout our documents.
Madam President, if I could read the motion language, the section language, it's very short. I think it makes that point clear.
Please.
Okay, this is under Exhibit 2 because it's new language. Article 6, to propose the formation of a new local club and request a charter from an international club, a minimum of 10 voting memberships shall be required. A voting membership is defined as a primary member and, if applicable, their spouse or partner as recognized under current membership definitions. Does that help, John?
Well, it does, but does this verbiage exist in other parts of our Constitution, or is this the only place where it exists?
This does exist elsewhere. It is defined under voting memberships. It's defined there.
Okay, thank you.
Jim, his question was specific to the Constitution. I would say that applies throughout the entire Blue Book, which is all 3 documents.
Are there any further questions? Anyone need to clear this up a little more for themselves?
That clears it up for me.
Thank you. Are there any objections to this motion? Seeing none, I'll call for a unanimous approval. Motion is approved. Thank you. Next, we will hear from Mr. Joe Poplinski. He is the standing chair of our historical committee.
Jenny, just real quick, Dindy got kicked off and we're trying to get him back in right now. We're having some technical difficulties, but we're working on it.
Okay.
So was he on for the last vote?
No.
So Kendall, you'll need to identify that Dindy missed that last vote for the minutes.
Okay, are you ready, Joe?
I'm ready. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. Thank you for the chance to present these motions. And before I read the motion, can I note that I received very little feedback on this first one, but it was good feedback because we have a lot of new IBT members not understanding heritage numbers and how they are nominated and approved. And I would like this motion to go forward as is, but in the future, we will separate any heritage number nominations that have different criteria. And
thank you,
Joe. You need to read the motion first.
Just read it. All right.
Yeah.
I move that the table of approved heritage numbers in policy 16.6.10 Airstream numbers subsection 2.e be amended to add 1208 and 26019 as stated in Exhibit 1.
This comes out of committee, therefore it does not need a second.
Okay, you want me to read the purpose/impact?
Yes.
All right. The approval of this motion recognize the personal historical contributions of the following members made to this club as briefly detailed below. 1208, Frank and Vivian Sargent. The Sargents were the driving force that developed the series of 9 China Caravans that ran in 1985 to 1988, devoting 3 years to their planning, including a personal scouting trip to China and being leaders of China Caravan number 1. The China Caravans were the most ambitious caravans ever developed by the club, and they brought great publicity and prestige to the club. 26019, Rutherford, in parentheses, Bud and Betty Cooper. Bud was the driving force in the creation of the Vintage Airstream Club, the VAC, intra-club formed in 1993, including serving as its first president, first newsletter editor, and the organizer of many VAC events, including the Vintage Airstream Parade and Open House at the International Rally. The VAC brought hundreds of new members to WBCCI that likely would not have otherwise joined the club and inspired the creation of a vintage RV parts industry that helps keep vintage Airstreams on the road and in the club. The approval of these new heritage numbers would not take these Airstream numbers away from current assignees, but would restrict them from being reassigned in the future. The new heritage numbers and associated rationale should be added to the list on the WBCCI website.
Is there any financial impact?
Do you want me to read the background or just go straight to financial impact?
Oh, you can read the background.
Okay. Background, policy 16.6.10 subsection E.1.B.2 allows Airstream numbers to be designated as heritage numbers based upon historically significant personal contributions to the club. The personal contributions of the members that were assigned these Airstream numbers have withstood the test of time to still be recognized as significant over 30 years later. There is no financial impact to WBCCI.
Thank you, Joe. Is there any discussion?
May I ask what these numbers are? What category are they?
These are just, at this point, standard Airstream Club numbers that can be reassigned when they become when a member does not renew after a 1-year holding period generally. What this would do is effectively retire the numbers like retiring a number in sports so that they would not be reassigned to the general membership in the future. And then we would have a little statement on the website indicating why it was retired to kind of celebrate the contributions these members made to the club.
Thank you.
So as I understand it, it's not like 400, 500, 600, 700. It's a specific number that is designated is the heritage number, correct?
These two specific numbers only would be added to the list. We're at roughly around 100 numbers currently, most of which participated in 3 major caravans, and a very few of which were first personal contributions to the club.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? Are there any objections to this motion? Seeing none, I move that this becomes unanimous decision. We will approve it. It's unanimous. It's approved. Thank you, Joe. You've got another one to go through.
Thank you. All right. The second motion, I will start. I just read the motion, right? I don't have to read the summary. I move that club leadership names in the PDF. I move to add club leadership names to the PDF membership directory and document the specific member details in the PDF membership directory by revising policy 12.4.1 club publications subsection A.5 as stated in Exhibit 1.
Thank you. As this comes out of committee, it does not require a second. Can you read the background and the financial statement, please?
Do I need to do the purpose or no?
Yes.
It's helpful if you do.
Okay, I'll do it all. purpose/impact. This change will make the PDF membership directory the primary, easily accessible, and long-term stable record of annual club leadership and make the PDF version more useful for members that use it. It is incidental to the purpose of this motion, but members that choose to purchase a printed copy of the January edition of the PDF membership directory will also benefit by having club leaders identified in it. Formally documenting the specific member information included in the PDF directory helps ensure future versions meet IBT expectations. Background: the PDF membership directory specified in policy 12.4.1 subsection A.5 is currently the only concise, easily accessible, long-term, stable record of club membership each year. This record will be improved by the addition of club leadership names at all levels. Financial, you want me to go to financial impact?
Yes, please.
$0 to $2,000. The variable cost lies in how much WBCCI headquarters labor is required to confirm and update leadership data for the PDF membership directory. The region presidents will help expedite data collection because that is something they already do for their own use. The WBCCI Historical Committee will prepare the leadership pages for inclusion in the PDF membership directory, and the cost of added pages should be added to the price of the pre-ordered printed copies.
Thank you. At this time, we open this for discussion. Millie?
Yes, thank you, Joe, for a nice, clear, easy to understand motion. You could teach some people. My question is about the expense and where the information can be found now. I don't foresee that we will have a printed version the way we do now 10 years from now. I think so many things are going towards online versions. Kendall, the question is for you, actually. With the app, is this information going to be in the leadership section of the app?
It is the intent. It's the intent to put in the leadership section of the app and then make it filterable so we can look at it by years as well. You can look at it by years or by time. So the same thing, we're going to document in the PDF, we can document electronically.
How
can I address this a little bit too?
Well, I'm not done with my question yet. It's a two-parter, Joe. Bear with me. So
Okay.
if the app is updated routinely, why would we also need to add the same information, the redundant information, to the printed directory, especially if, like Joe said, we have a PDF with the information there and it's searchable? Just looking at expense versus necessity.
The PDF does not include leadership names. It literally only lists who is a club member if you have not opted out of having your information printed. But it does not say who the president of WBCCI is, the president of a local club, the president of an interclub, or any other position. That is the traditional place to go look for this. And I realize that this is an interim solution. Somewhere, maybe 10 years down the road, we will have a different solution. I'm sure there will no longer be a printed membership directory available to members. There may be a better way to store the data, but right now I cannot go into the database and say who were the leaders of this club at the start of, say, January of 2025, because they were not included in the directory and we did not have another place to store that data where you have the backwards looking capability. I can go onto the club website right now and see who's currently assigned as of today, but I can't go backwards. We will work with, my committee will work with Kendall and the IT committee, if necessary, whoever else, to develop another solution longer term. But I think this is the right solution at the current time.
Bill Hamblin?
But I'm sorry.
Not to cut you off, I actually want to dovetail off that question and the answer to it as well, because I understand it was included, if I'm correct, it was included in the directory before. It was voted on to be removed in a previous term. I tried looking back to see if I could find meeting notes on that. I didn't have much luck. So I don't know what the impetus for that removal was.
It's not quite that simple. The change that was approved in 2023, and I forget the exact motion number, effectively eliminated a section of our policy that said printed membership directory and replaced it with a section that said PDF membership directory. That replacement had a very significantly less amount of defined content. I mean, if you remember the older membership directories, we had lists of caravans, we had list of this year's special event rallies, past presidents, all kinds of information that has been eliminated in the 2025 version, which left a hole in our historical records. I don't think that was foreseen, but the reason for that, the printed one was eliminated as part of the standard thing every membership got as part of their membership dues as a cost-cutting initiative and to help with headquarters labor.
Thank you.
Or Tilton. I'm sorry, Millie. I'm trying to go in order here.
Got interrupted, so just saying.
Oh, you know what? If you got interrupted, let's listen to you. I
Yeah,
apologize.
I only just wanted to find out if we're also including committee chairs in this leadership listing. That's all. Thank you.
This proposal would effectively do the same level of detail we had in 2023 and prior, which did list standing committee chairs and like that, both at the international, region, and local club level.
Lori Tilton.
Thanks. Just so you all know, and Joe, I think I've showed you as well that I'm all for preserving. So we do have, since I've been here at the club, this is what I'm showing you is on our, what we call our share drive. If it's showing, is it showing? Yeah.
It's coming in now.
So this is what we call our share drive. So every time a club submits an officer reporting form, we have a digital copy of that, which is outside of our database. And again, I have a meeting with Kendall and Mark for the future, or first week in November, to discuss how we can make this easier for everybody to, have this access to get to this so they can look at previous years and we only have to handle the data once. That's my goal, as in just for manpower, right? Because it can be very time consuming. That's the biggest part of this. The typing part isn't, it's the time consuming of getting the data. But we do have that information there to ease everybody's thoughts that I know we started that, and actually we have more on paper that we can get digitized. And that's one of our other goals as well.
I'll say I appreciate that. I don't think that is the most member-focused, useful solution. It isn't even going to be very well for the historical committee to have to search all those documents. Having it in one place that covers the whole club in a single document is easier. My original proposal was to take the data in the existing database and download it. And again, people have said, can we do this outside of that? Well, if the data that I've got to make the annual snapshot is what's in our database, call it the online membership directory, that's the same here. And I understand the desire to want everything to be as correct as possible, and getting the data from members is a bit painful, but I think this is the right thing to do for both historical reasons and for ease of access by the membership when you're looking for previous year data.
David Gully. You're on mute.
Yes, thank you, Jeannie. I just wanted to share at a recent study session with the region presidents, Joe gave a presentation on this, and all of the region presidents agreed, or the ones that were on the call, that we all do need to do a better job of tracing and making sure all our units are reporting timely and are updated information. It's something everyone on the call took as a personal to-do list to make this happen. So hopefully if we can, on our end, help direct this and make it smoother, that it will effectively get the information in better and more timely for Lori and her staff. I know Lori and her staff are busy. I know we've added another person, but I think at this point, if we don't realize the importance of our history going forward, and we're in the middle of a large scanning thing, and Joe and I are deeply, deeply committed into this topic. But, whether it's no cost or $2,000 or whatever the cost is, that's such a small 1% of 1% of our budget that we just approved. We're coming off a $250,000 a year increase in dues, which was obviously needed, as Alan said. We're coming off 3 successful international rallies. We're coming off increase in our savings. We're coming off a 1 point something million thing. I think the fact it would be a tremendous oversight on our part as a board that if we don't either approve this to be a no cost or a small cost, that's such a small price to pay to have our future and our history recorded for however long. You know, the book may be out like uh, Millie said for a year. It may be out for 8 of those 10 years we're estimating. But I think this is a small price to pay. Like I said, I know Lori's staff is very dedicated and she has an amazing staff, and now we've added to that staff. And I know they work diligently to do that. But as Joe has said before, the historical committee is also willing to do their part. But I think with everybody working together and with to realize that we're talking such a small percentage here of our budget, and then what we have to hang our hat on is our history and our club. And like I told, and I apologize for the region presidents to hear this again, but you know, we have our members, we have our volunteers, and this is just a way to honor them. And you know, the historical committee is getting more and more involved with Airstream every month. They are now looking at Joe and the historical committee as their historical arm. So this is something I've had numerous talks with them lately, and they love the idea right now of being able to have a book, even if it's available for sale, and to have this type of information in there because they understand the number of questions we do. And it really wasn't that evident to me till we just got through doing an extensive 30,000 page scan job just on the membership directories and how important this history is. And like Joe said, we did this for 69 years. This is a 1 year we didn't do it. This is something we can easily refix going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Mark Neidham, welcome.
Hi, all. Good to be here. Yeah, I think Lori already answered most of it. I think there's a lot of the information, at least as far as we have from when the new website and database was established, is something that we'll work with Lori and co on to like get both exposed in the app, as Kendall is suggesting, for people that want to know the current state of our leadership, as well as what I'm hearing is like an extra set of requests for being able to pull the data for a full historical report of our leadership and our members. So we'll have to work through that. We'll start on that at the strategy session early November, and then figure out how we get that in a place where that's accessible and it doesn't involve like a lot of manual work from the folks at headquarters.
Thank you.
Sure.
Rachel?
My follow-up actually to excuse me, to Mark, what you're saying then, is there a way to estimate a timeline on, you know, what it would take for, you know, where our website and current technology sits to being able to have a user-friendly version that can be downloaded for a print option or for the historical record, so that one of the issues here I know that a few of us have expressed is this idea of handling redundant data, right? Like you're kind of assembling it twice, which leaves room for, it's not just cost, it's you know, expanding labor on staff and room for error and et cetera, et cetera. But so I'm just curious, is there a timeline on that where that could maybe be the focus before moving to do a motion like this? And again, I want to express that my questions here are in full support of the historic committee and all of the hard work you guys do. It's just so important. So I just want to make sure that's clear.
Understood. Yeah, and we'll work on that. I know that there's some short-term work to be done just to get it synchronized into the app, the current state of leadership. The historical part is partially just from the current database. I'll get a timeline for you after the strategy session. I'm not going to try to make something up right now. As far as like going all the way back and getting all that data into database, that's like that's a longer term effort. So if we need something right now that goes back, you know, like however long the historical committee feels is appropriate, that's going to involve a bunch of manual work because it involves digitizing a bunch of existing paperwork, right?
I got to say just one thing. It's not directly this question. The fact that we create a PDF that doesn't even list who our leaders are, to me, doesn't hardly pass a laugh test. I understand all the extraneous content that was removed, caravan lists and all that is fine. But I would think that any PDF listing that we've created as a permanent long-term record should list our leaders, not just our club members. To me, that is just
Okay.
a standard thing.
Thank you. Bill Hamblin?
So dovetailing off Rachel's comment and some of the conversation around the idea that, people, it sounds like, recognize that if we were to do this or, do the PDF version, it's not necessarily a long-term option. My hard point with some of this is just, I feel like we're recognizing certain shortcomings, but trying to pass a motion as an interim solution almost, with nothing in place to handle that or set a timeline on it. And I think that's just a dangerous step to take on things. I don't know if it's possible in our motions to set a timeline where it would need to be revisited. If it's 5 years, 10 years, whatever down the road, it may be a whole group of different people looking at it who could choose to look at it or not. Versus if we say, hey, this is passed for 5 years and then needs to be revisited, or it sunsets without a vote. I don't know if that's a possibility or something we could look into. Lori G maybe knows.
I don't believe there is anything in the CBL documents right now that have deadlines on when they expire. When you have a policy, the policy is the policy until it is changed. We have a policy that has no deadline that says we are creating a PDF membership directory. I think this should go as long as that policy exists. And there may be a vote to change that next year. It might be 10 years down the road, but I think it's hard to put a deadline on that. I'm friends with lots of older members that still don't really do the online stuff. I realize they're a smaller percentage every year, but they look to the printed membership directory as their view of the club.
Agreed. And like I said, and I just wanted to say, like, I'm in support of keeping the history. It's just, questions like this are still open.
So you could amend this to add a proviso, which would give it a sunset provision. Sunset meaning it would go away if you set a date. And you could always come back and do that later as well.
Yeah, I don't want to add a proviso like that to this motion because I think this motion directly ties onto the existing policy that has a PDF membership directory, and I think this should go as long as that exists.
Thank you. Rachel?
So I just want to clarify and make sure for my own sense that I think I can understand your issues, Joe, with leadership not being kind of, recognized or listed in the PDF. I think the main thing I think I'm taking away from this is, or maybe this is my own personal bias or whatever, is that the idea of just not having a separate PDF. So, and I guess that's to your point, you would like this to be in there as long as the PDF is in there. But maybe the ultimate goal being that we, put something in place, agree to it, assign to the committee, whatever, to work with Mark on getting this redundancy gone so that any membership that wants the printed copy, it is not to eliminate even printed copies, but leveraging technology so that the data is not handled twice. So everybody gets acknowledged, the information's available, and it can be called on for either the historical committee's use or for like a printed version.
And that is part of the history. There was a lot of emails back and forth on the developments, and I'm sorry that a lot of the IBT members saw a lot of it. Some of it was not to the whole group. But I was told early on that the system they used to make this PDF and the system that takes our membership data are not currently compatible in talks. So there is some way of manually manipulating data between those, either retyping it into a different system or the solution my committee came up with of taking the download from the website data, the online directory that exists, and manipulating that data into a format that would print. But yeah, I think it would be great to have the computer systems be compatible and eliminate that step and that chance for error.
Very good.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you. Are there any further comments? Are there any objections to this motion passing unanimously? Seeing as how there are some, we will call for a roll call vote. Secretary Felter, will you go ahead and run a roll call vote, please?
Most certainly. Executive Council Member Miller,
Yes.
Region 7 President Olson,
Well, we're calling for Chuck Zellermeyer, the first VP.
yes, I'm sorry, yes. Region 7 Vice President
Apologize.
Zellermeyer,
Yay.
Region 6 President Gully, Region 6 President Gully,
You're muted, David.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Laurie.
the Council Member Jarrett,
Jared is stuck on the other panel and texted me that he is a yes.
he's a yes. Region 8 President O'Connor,
Sorry.
Yes.
he's a Council Member Shaw,
Approve.
Vice President Heavener,
Yes.
Past President Watts,
Yes.
Region 5 President Deegan,
Yes.
Region 11 President Holly,
Yes.
Executive Council Member Johansson,
Yes.
Executive Council Member Hamlin,
Yes.
Region 1 President Junta,
And
Region
I'll say
1
yes.
President,
Thank
Region
you.
4 President Paspa,
Yes.
Executive Council Member O'Donnell. I'm sorry, say again.
No.
Region 2 President Galupo,
Yes.
Region 3 President Ely,
Yes.
Region 12 President Bloom,
Yes.
Region 10 President McPhee,
Yes.
Region 9 President Elkins,
Yes.
Secretary Felder, I vote no, and past President Watts.
She already voted yes.
I'm here. I already voted.
Oh, she did she? I'm sorry, my brain is flaking out today.
Well, she likes to vote, so I can vote again.
No need. So the vote passes with 2 nays.
Well done.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. That's all the motions that we have before us today. Everyone did a great job paying attention and being engaged. Thank you very much for that. Now we get to my favorite part, the region business. And let's just go right in order. We are going to hear from each of our region presidents about comments and concerns, questions, and queries. Go ahead, Michael Junta, Region President number 1.
Thank you, Jenny. Region 1, we are essentially kind of winding down for the season a little bit here. We're finishing up the last 2 local clubs of installation of officers. So we got 2 more of those left for the season. We already are starting to see the agenda for next year for Region 1 rallies from the local clubs. We have the date officially announced for the Gunstock Mountain Resort Region 1 rally at the Gunstock Mountain Resort in the Lakes region of New Hampshire, not far from my home here. And we're going to be doing something a little bit differently in the region. Typically, over the history of the region, a local club with support of the region was taking on the regional rally. I'm doing a little bit of a departure from that idea a little bit, to creating some more unification in the region by having volunteers from all the different clubs working together as a group, one unified group, and putting on this rally. And it'll be the first time we've done this in quite a while, I believe. We are also internally, we're discussing a regional compassion fund. It's something that Alan and I had chatted about. So I'm picking through that. We're in the very early phases of that. So more to be discussed about that in time. And then once the clubs are finished setting up their rally schedule for the season, I'll be sending out to all the members in the Region 1 what I call a master rally sheet. And the whole mission of that is this is basically a piece of paper you could print out, stick it on your refrigerator if you so choose, promoting all the rallies by all the clubs in one central location that a member can look at. So we did that last year. We had really positive feedback from the membership that it was done that fashion. We are also working in the early phases with Region 1 is working with Patty Gallupo and Region 2 for another Region 1, Region 2 co-rally. Very excited about that. I think that the one we did at Sampson State Park in the Finger Lakes region was really exceptional. We had great turnout. And really the whole mission across all these discussions is to make sure that the membership is able to meet new people and make new friends. So that's what I got in that.
Can I make a quick comment to you, Michael?
Say again, Jenny?
Can I make a comment to you? I love the idea of all the clubs having put together on one worksheet. Can I have one when you get it assembled? I really like that idea.
I'll send you a copy from last year's, Jenny.
No, I want next year. So if I'm in your area, I can come
Yes,
and
I
see
can
you.
send you that.
I love that. I'd love it for every group, every single region. That's a really great idea. Thanks. Region 2, Patty Gallupo.
Yes, thank you, Jenny, and to all my colleagues and guests on the call, and mainly to Matt Moore, our first vice president, I know, who's at work, but also on the call. He's my right-hand man, and to the rest of the Region 2 team. Well, Michael touched on one of the highlights. We're excited to work with Michael and his crowd on a joint 1 and 2 rally up in New York State. And along those lines, I've been talking to we have 13 clubs that report up through our region. And we're also trying to maximize and capitalize on doing joint local rallies as well. I think everybody from the region, the international on down, we all struggle to find venues and get out ahead of these things a year, sometimes 2 years in advance. And if we can maximize on teamwork and joining up with our bandmates, whether at the region level or the local level, I think it benefits everybody in the club, and it divides up duties and shares resources, all that good corporate lingo, but it's all true. We all need help, and we all need each other. The other thing, I hope I'm not redundant. My head's a mess here with the calendar. I know I talked about the Hershey RV show on 3 or 4 other calls. I don't believe I've talked about it with this body, but we were thrilled, Region 2, Matt Cody and I, to help Bill Hamlin, who did an excellent job running point at the Hershey RV show, which is in Region 2. So we manned the booth. My guys did for a couple of 3 days. I think Bill was there an entire week. And Bill, by the way, shout out to him. What an excellent job setting up the desk and the technology and the little TV and the Explorer program and all the bells and whistles. And us boots on the ground types, we were there following his lead and signing up members. And it's kind of interesting because the 3 or 4 people that bought trailers that day were actually from Virginia, where I live. So we were excited to participate in that. And I think that's a program that's worthwhile pursuing, going to these RV shows. It's good for everybody. The one other thing I wanted to talk about that we're struggling with / trying to come up with a plan. And I'm working with our Region 2 membership rep, Colleen Ehlers out of Metro New York. She's our membership chair. She does a fabulous job. And when we came out of York, I was asked, as well as Matt, to help with the members at large workshop, lunch, or whatever you want to call it. A lot of my colleagues were there. David Gully, Michael was there, and a few folks were there. Tracy was there. And a couple of things came out of that meeting that I think called on all of us, particularly what I have to do in my own region, of trying to figure out maybe some more comprehensive ways to communicate with our members at large in our region. So my non-technological butt needs to work with Lori Tilton and MailChimp and all that. And I want to find a way, and we're going to develop a way to do mass communications either to the membership in my region or the males in particular. So we're working on that. And at the international level, I'm not sure when the membership chair, Jenny, you can speak to that whenever it's appropriate. But we're excited to try to kind of tie up some of those things there. We did the intra-club chit-chat. Bill Hamlin and I were paired up, and we volunteered to be the intra-club liaison to the Pride group. And Bill and I think he would agree, had a great call with Michael. I forget his last name. My apologies. He's the president of the Pride group. But we had a nice discussion to further enhance that relationship, which was developed, Jenny, I guess, a couple of 3 weeks ago when you initiated that whole team concept. So we did have a call with them. So that went very well. And that's all I got. I'll see all you guys out in Jackson Center. I am driving out there, so I look forward to getting with everybody. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you, Patty. Now we'll go to Region 3, Mr. Bob Ely.
Good morning, or should I say afternoon to all. Region 3 is hopping, lots going on. We just put out last Friday for our region rally in March down in Lakeland, Florida, and by Sunday we were sold out. We have maxed out all the sites that we have, and we've started a waiting list. So I'm kind of in awe that it happened that quick, and there's that much interest. And I also fear now I've got the pressure on me to pull off a perfect rally if that's possible. And walking behind Dave Gully with his last Region 6 is going to be really hard. So, but as to this thing of having all your clubs, since we have 17, it's a little bit more complex to do. But I have to give credit to Jill Rabb, our membership chair for the region. She did that last year. She went through, got them all, put them all together. It was really good. And a lot of people appreciated it. And it's something we're trying to build on going forward. Coming up in Region 3, we have some clubs that are reaching significant milestones. Next week, I will be at a rally for the Carolinas Club. They are celebrating their 65th year. So they've got a big rally plan and a lot of special stuff going on, but it's really cool what's going on there. And next year, we'll have one club hit 50 and the other club will hit 70, I think. So another thing we're working on in the region is identifying clubs in their years and trying to, again, it just makes it special. It gives special memories. It adds to the flavor of the club. So with that, I think that's what's going on. Everybody's busy. We've got rallies in the Keys. We've got rallies all over Florida. And I know some of you are putting the trailers away. And down here, by and large, we're just getting them out. So it's starting to cool off and be great camping weather. So that's all I've got for today. Thank you.
Well, you brought up such a wonderful point, Bob, about recognizing the longevity of some of these clubs. And your Carolina club did reach out to me. I'm just in awe of that. That's wonderful. I hope you have a really, really special time. So thank you very, very much.
You are welcome.
Mike Paspa, Region 4.
Hello, everyone. So Region 4, everybody's kind of winterizing their trailers or heading south. And they have some local clubs set up for next year. That's about it going on in our area.
Okay, thank you. Region 5, we have John Deegan.
Hi there. Good afternoon, everybody. John Deegan here, and thank you, Jenny. As everybody else is doing here in the Heartland, we're planning our activities for 2026. Next year, Region 5 will be hosting 2 rallies in the region in June 10th through 14th. We're doing kind of an urban rally that we call Rollin' on the River. And that's a rally that we're going to be camped right along the Ohio River in Madison, Indiana. And that promises to be a wonderful activity for us. We have incredible support from the city of Madison, Indiana for us. They're going to let us park right on the street. They're bringing in power for us, and just lots of activities happening with this. Our annual rally will be in July 22nd through the 26th. We're going again to the Kentucky Horse Park down in Lexington, Kentucky. That's a place that we really love to go visit. There's a lot to see and do down there. And in fact, there may even be some horse racing down there at the time we'll be there. So that's what's going on with us. Lots of other activities within a day's drive of all of us here in the heartland. And so we got a lot of Airstream activities planned for next year. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you. Sounds like great fun. I know I'm going to be going to Keeneland. So I'm very excited about that. Thanks. Region 6, David Gully.
Hello again. Hello again. We have been busy and continue to be busy. All our units, first of all, we'll start with units, are doing great. We just, matter of fact, we just held 3 election inductions at our recent Region 6 rally. The rest of them, I think, like the rest of them by next month, will all have all their new officers inducted and going forward. We've been working with Jim, making sure all our units have all their bylaws and constitution, I's and T's dotted, and I think we're down to 1, and it's getting close. We did, as a few people have said, we just completed our Region 6 rally, which was my first rally. First of all, this first time I had a chance to publicly thank, I think 8 or 9 or 10 of people on this call were there and came to support me, and I can't thank you enough. We had we ended up with about 190 BRNs and about 375 people, which in my record, going back 30 years that I know, and pre that, maybe one of the largest we've ever held in our region. And I had people from 25 states and 10 different regions represented. So I was very proud and even people from Canada, so I called it an international region rally. We were fortunate to have Jenny and Jan and Kendall and James and on and on, Denny and all. We literally had a huge portion of the EC come to support us. John Holly was there to help support us, even though he had to drive across the country and back and forth twice. John, thank you again for that. Michael and his entire family drove down from the way north to participate. Anyway, we had a tremendous rally. One of the main things I want to talk about during it is, Jenny mentioned earlier, we're working on our historical foundation, and this is something I'd like to ask other regions to consider. In Region 6 for this year and next year, I've made our historical center and getting it off the ground and getting it going part of our fundraising efforts. I've been very active with James, who has been leading for the last several months, a tremendous campaign as far as raising money for this too. James and the Vintage Airstream Club were the first one to make a $10,000 pledge, which within months we have reached and exceeded that pledge, which is a huge start, as Jenny and Alan know, to get our ball rolling. Well, I decided to have an auction at our Region 6 rally, and in 1 hour, we raised almost $14,000 for our historical center, and 1,500 of that is for some bottles that go to the Vintage Airstream Club sponsorship. So I was proud to mention one morning that we wanted to do a $10,000 pledge, and that night to be able to exceed it. So anyway, again, thank you, and I know a lot of you were there and participated. Next year, at my region rally, I announced my location for my next 2 rallies. When I announced that on Saturday night, I told them that next Wednesday we would be opening reservations, and we had about 150 sites I thought we could get. Well, Monday I called the park and I said, okay, get ready. Wednesday we've got 100, you're going to be answering phone calls. They said, we already have 150 people in the queue and you're already on a wait list. And 2 days before it even opened and before I even, so be careful on announcing dates because they may jump out ahead of you. We have a lot of joint rallies planned next year in our region, which is great. Going to help me tremendously being able to go to multiple events at one time. We also have some rolling rallies going, and we're also making a big effort on working and pulling our members at large in. We have, working through Lori and her staff, we've been able to gain access to the members at large, and we're making a conscious effort to go after them. Like I said, other than that, as long as I can stay up and going, we're Region 6, I feel very good about everything, and Jan has been over the top and being there with me the entire way, and hopefully we'll continue.
We are
Thank you.
so grateful you're doing well, and I'm really grateful you found the stamina to join us today. You know, just looking around at everyone's pictures, we have 2 pages of pictures. This is an extraordinary collection of leaders. And this is what makes this particular round of an IBT so good. I'm in awe. I am in awe of the dynamic leadership that I'm looking at right now. And thank you for that.
Okay.
Let's go to Region 7.
One last thing. I'm
Sure.
not, as you know, Jenny, and so we know, I'm not going to be able to attend the strategy meeting. And Jeff, my first VP, which most of you know, especially everybody that's went to the international rally this year, he will be standing in for me. And he and I'm doing him like Jan did me, trying to keep him informed each and every day of everything going on. So hopefully between Jan and Jeff and Indy, we'll have some Region 6 representation at the strategy meeting.
It'll all be fine. We're going to miss you terribly, but you've sent in the A team, so we're grateful. Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate that. Thank you. So we're going to move to Region 7. Chris Olson stand-in for today. Chuck Zellermeyer. This is going to be fun for you, Chuck.
Thank you, Jenny. And the Honorable Chris Olson did not tell me I was going to need to prepare for this. So please realize I'm winging this as best as I can.
Doing good.
I will report that all of the local clubs have now installed their officers for the coming year as of last weekend. Debbie, who I know you're watching here, I did get your emails. Chris did not, nor anybody else tell me when I ran for office that I would be responsible for being the liaison for Minot next summer. But I have got the list of duties required, and I'm beginning to work on that. I assure you that we are all very excited in Region 7 to be the host region for next year's international. It's going to be a great one. I really do think it's going to be a great one, and we will do our best to serve everyone in that capacity. I will report that we are beginning to plan our Region 7 rallies for next year. We're in the planning stages, and I will point out that we are, speaking of international, trying to find ways to better incorporate our members up in Manitoba, who we have been pretty much divorced from for the last few years post-COVID, not for any particular reason other than the fact that COVID really shot the borders, as many of you know. And so we're trying to find ways to cross over that border more frequently and better incorporate all of our region in our activities. I really don't have anything else to report other than after this meeting, I will go outside and blow out my water line since it's going to freeze tonight. I'm in Wisconsin, if you didn't know.
Chuck, you did a great job. Excellent job. Thank you.
Thanks.
Going to Region 8, Ed, where are you? I'm not seeing on my screen. Okay, thank you. Ed O'Connor, thank you.
I'm here. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, wherever you are in the United States. Region getting my land legs going with Region 8 president. We had all of our installation rallies this fall. I got to travel to 3 of them to do the installations, and I just love going to the other clubs and getting to know these folks and letting them get a chance to know me. It was the installation rallies I had. I did 3 of them. I had a past region president do one of them, another past president of the region do another one, and a past international president did one of them for me. So we're all covered on our installation rallies. We are in full swing planning our spring Region 8 rally in Hutchinson, Kansas at the state fairgrounds. It's going to be a great time out there. There's a lot of things to do. If you've never been to the Kansas Cosmos Fair, it's a little jewel sitting out in the middle of the Midwest. We're working very hard on joint rallies within our club. We are fortunate we have 6 clubs, and we're trying to do joint rallies to get to know each other a little bit better. My wife, who is the membership chair, had a nice conversation with Michael in New York, and she too is putting together a region-wide calendar. So we all know what the other clubs are doing and where they're doing it, so we can work together to get to know each other a little bit better. Looking forward to being in Jackson Center. I've coordinated with Tracy's vice president, Anna, and we're going to meet at the airport. I've rented a car. If anybody else needs a ride to Jackson Center or Sydney, I've got room in the car. And so let me know if you need that. Lastly, as John Deegan asked me to mention the ham radio club, since I'm one of the liaisons to the ham radio club, they're planning a rally in next April or May 14th through 17th in Dayton, which is the site of the Hamvention, which is one of the major ham gathering activities of the year. And so the Interclub for the ham radio is going to have their rally there. If you have any interest in joining that group, let me know, or John Deacon. And look forward to seeing everybody in Jackson Center. That's all I've got, Jenny. Thank you.
That's just great. Thank you so much, Ed. Appreciate that a lot. Let's move to Region 9, our wonderful Tracy Elkins, President Elkins.
Well, howdy, everyone. I'm so excited here in Region 9. Like so many of you, we're doing installation rallies. We are knee-deep in those, and those will continue kind of through December. So we're excited to get to visit some of those clubs and do those installations. We're also during our nominee season, so we're accepting candidates for our second VP position here in Region 9. And then, of course, we have a ton of rallies underway. So we've got several national event rallies, and we have our first one for the fall, which is Texas Country Air. And this is a rally that has been around in Region 9 for about 10 years now, but this is its first year as a national event rally. It'll be at Fort Concho in San Angelo, and it's coming up November 6th through the 9th. We have our flagship national event rally streaming on the Strand. Jenny, we're so excited you're going to come and join us for that one. It happens the first week of Mardi Gras in Galveston. We line those airstreams up on either side of the parade route, and we just have a really good time for several days in this urban rally situation. That's February the 5th through the 8th. We do have a few sites left on that. If anybody has an interest in coming, John Hawley is coming this year. We're excited to welcome John back. So we have actually more people coming from outside the region than inside the region for this national event rally in February. We have another rally we call Wally's Workshop that's sponsored by Region 9. It's an annual rally that we have at our North Texas Airstream community in Hillsborough, Texas. And it's a great way to just get your rig ready to the camping season. So that one is March the 20th through the 23rd, and we will be getting the registration for that open very soon. Well, earlier this week, I guess it was just 2 days ago, we opened registration for Airstreams in Paradise. That's our annual Region 9 rally. It's going to be March the 25th through the 29th down at Crystal Beach, Camp Margaritaville. And we are 75% full in just 2 days. So we're super excited about this rally. And from that registration, so are our members. So we're really hoping to have a wonderful rally there in March of this year. We have Stitching and Fishing, which is another Region 9 national event rally that is always popular, totally sold out, April the 16th to the 21st. And that's also in Hillsborough at the North Texas Airstream community. So if you've got anything that you'd like to do in Texas, we've got plenty of things for you to do. I'd encourage you to go out and look at the events section of the ACI website. Most of our events are published out there, and we love it when members visit. So visit from outside the region or outside the club. So please come on down to Texas. This is ideal camping season, and we'd love to see you. Thanks so much.
Well, that is great. Thanks so much, Tracy. We'll move into Region 10. Susan McPhee, President of Region 10. What is going on in your neck of the woods?
Thank you, Jenny. I just finished the last installation last weekend for the Oregon Club. Whoever came up with this idea of traveling and installing officers is brilliant. I'll give them credit because they're so much fun, and camping with people, hanging around a campfire, talking, getting to know people is priceless. I will never miss one installation unless there's a conflict, which we did have one conflict where one was in Idaho and one was in British Columbia. It's kind of hard to be at both, but really, they are so. I just love every minute of them. So I'm all finished with that, a little sad face. And so we're working on our Region 10 rally, which is going to be in Hood River, Oregon, June 24th to the 28th. Thank you, Jenny, for wanting to come. We're excited.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a beautiful part of the world, right? Between Oregon and Washington on the Columbia River, which I've discovered 90 waterfalls. So waterfall lovers will be attending, I'm sure. So we're changing things up this time, and we're going to be doing a lottery. It's the first time we've ever done that. I don't know if you heard, but our last Region 10 rally sold out in 19 minutes. And so we've got a very aggressive Oregon club that, they're like Johnny on the spot. They're like, wait for rallies to open, and they're sold out like almost immediately. So for the smaller clubs and people that aren't quite that aggressive, we're doing a lottery, which I don't know if anybody's tried that before. They do it for obviously the balloon festival, but we're going to do a very simple, straightforward lottery with just, not just plain old put your request in, and then a week later we'll draw it on our board meeting. So it's fair, and we'll go from there. So we'll see how that goes. And then most recently, we started a rally coordinators huddle. So I thought we'd probably do it once a year, but the rally coordinators and all of our clubs just loved it, and they want to do it every quarter. So I think it's interesting, but we did get to see each other's rally lists, so it's a good idea to put them all together, like like Michael did, and share them. But everybody enjoys seeing what other people do, and even just reading the names of the rallies, you feel like, oh, I want to go to that one, and I want to go to this one. And unfortunately, you only have so many days available. But so that is about it for me. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. We'll move on to John Holly in Region 11. President Holly.
Thank you, Jenny. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you fine, but we cannot see you.
Oh, good. I had to pull off to the side of the road. I'm on my way to a rally in New Mexico, and I was losing reception. So I pulled off into a little park along the side of Highway 10. Anyway, I am very pleased with things that are happening in Region 11. I do a lot of traveling, as Tracy and David and others have told you during this whole thing. It's what I've been trying to do is get the clubs to get together, and actually the one I'm headed to right now is a Caballo Lake, New Mexico rally with the Arizona Club, the New Mexico Club, and the Four Corners Club, all together combining. I've been trying to get that to do it. A lot of the clubs are cooperating, and very successfully. This rallies this year with our clubs has been amazing. The Colorado Club, for instance, had 22 events, 22 rallies this year alone. And every club is very healthy. We reorganized the Wyoming Club and the New Mexico Club. They're going strong now. everything is on point. I had the privilege of attending David Galley's Region 6 rally, and it was really, really very special. Even though it was 1,900 miles for me to travel one way. David said, though, well, it's only one road, John. It's just Highway 40, just one road. Anyway, so that was a little crazy. I think Ron Jorgensen, my first VP, is on this call. I don't know if Rob Huey is or not. Rob Huey is my second VP and also my membership coordinator chair for the region. Much kudos to those guys. They're really strong. I will not be attending the strategy session in Jackson Center, but Ron will. He and I are in close contact. We just attended a rally in Cottonwood at the Dead Horse Ranch, Arizona, and he and I had a meeting. We'll be having other meetings, so I'll bring him up to speed on everything that's happening and what's happening in the region. I think it's going to be fine leadership coming on board. It's interesting, Ed, you mentioned Hutchinson, Kansas. That's where I grew up. And I'm very familiar with that fairgrounds because I used to sneak into the fairgrounds through my grandfather's fence behind his backyard. And so anyway, it's a great little town. It's a wonderful fairgrounds park with full hookups. So you guys should be very happy there. Anyway, I'm on my way, a little tired, a lot of travel, but very happy. Having a lot of installation ceremonies with the various clubs. Everybody's coming on board. It seems very positive, and I'm excited about the future. So thank you, everybody, and thanks, Jenny.
And John, thank you very, very much. Have a great time at your rally. Sounds fantastic. And now we hear from our resident geek, President. You called yourself that. You are not, believe me.
I resemble that remark. I am a geek. Anyways, this is Region 12. We last weekend wrapped up our region rally at beautiful Benelli Bluffs. David, thank you for the great idea to recognize the Heritage Center going forward. We recognize this year the McKinley Children's Foundation, and our little auction raised $15,364. So we are super proud of that. These are kids that are abused, disadvantaged, traumatized, and that center does some amazing work. So we were really proud of that. And of course, the dynamics that go on during those auctions is sometimes funny, hysterical. It's really touching. You've heard me talk about our Region Rally Planning Committee. We have a group of 25 plus individuals that plan these rallies, and they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. And I thank each and every one of them. We've got a great Region 12. We say it all the time. Our region rocks, and I was super proud of them this past weekend. We have a couple national event rallies and another Region 12 rally. We have Cali Rally in April. That sold out in 3 hours. A dry camping event held every other year. That is at the V6 Ranch. Our national event rallies, we have 2 of them. Rose Parade. If any of you get a chance to go on the Rose Parade rally, I strongly encourage it. This will be my second year attending. It's a very special rally. It's, of course, at the end of the year. And then Silver on the River. Some of you on this call went on Silver on the Seas to Alaska. Next year, it's going to be Silver on the River going to France. So hop on board. That registration's in process right now. And then next year, our region rally is in Las Vegas over Halloween weekend. As I've said before, holy cow, I can't even imagine what Las Vegas is going to be like over Halloween. And we're very lucky to have President Jenny with us. So that's it from Region 12. Thank you.
Sean, isn't Halloween every day in Vegas? I'm just curious.
Yeah, you're right, Lori.
Oh, my
On
friends,
Fremont Street.
this has just been a wonderful roundtable. I'm excited about so much enthusiasm in this club. And boy, are you guys a group of doers. It's just great. As you can tell, I'm going to be traveling all over the country next year in 26 and get to see you all. And that's going to be a wonderful experience for John and I. Not John, Holly, and I, my husband, John and I. Anyway, Thanks for this fantastic meeting. Look inside your email very soon. You're going to get a message from me, and I get to see you guys in just 11 days. Those that aren't making it, I'm just heartbroken, but you should be there in spirit. So thank you again. Everyone contributed wonderfully to this meeting, and I'm very appreciative for all of you. Have a great evening tonight. Go enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye.